Well, after a long and winding offseason, we are ready for USA South baseball here as the postseason is upon us. And it begins here in Greensboro, North Carolina, as William Peace takes on North Carolina Wesleyan today. And we get the tournament underway. North Carolina Wesleyan comes into today's game, finishing the regular season at 15-24, 10-11 in conference play. William Peace finished the regular season 17-22. They were 9-12 during the USA South slate. So this is the number one, or the first game today. Methodist and Southern Virginia to play later today as well in bracket number 2. Loser of that game will take on Pfeiffer tonight. Loser of this game will square off against Greensboro with a 5 o'clock first pitch this evening. Quick look at the starting lineups for today. We'll hit them again in a little bit, but leading things off for William Peace today is Caden French. He's in center field. Connor Moss in left field today, batting second. Gavin Turner, of course, the star third baseman, hitting in the number 3 spot. Batting cleanup today is Nate Roller. He's the catcher. Batting fifth, Leland Barrow in right field. Hitting sixth, Eddie Sanchez, the shortstop. Batting in the 7th spot today is Aaron Kemble. He's the designated hitter. Hitting fifth, Kyle Peters. Hitting eighth is Kyle Peters. He is the second baseman today. And batting in the number 9 spot, Nick Wiesner. And he is at first base today. You look at some of the players for William Peace. Obviously, again, it starts with Gavin Turner, a .394 hitter this year with 4 home runs and 33 runs batted in, all of which lead the team. Outside of that, not a ton of power. He actually accounts for 4 of the 8 home runs the North Carolina Wesleyan accumulated this season. Doesn't mean they don't have other run producers, though. Caden French drove in 28 runs during the regular season, 24 for Leland Barrow. One thing to keep an eye on today, though, for William Peace, they run a ton. 92 steals this year with 4 players reaching double figures, led by Caden French, 23 of 25. Starting pitcher today for the Pacers is Ethan Hummel. Hummel went 1-2 during the year with an 11.49 ERA. Doesn't surrender a ton of hits. You look at just the way the USA South has been such a hitter-friendly conference this year. Opponents only hit 278 against him. But I think the big concern for Hummel is 40 walks in 31 innings this year. For North Carolina Wesleyan, their starting lineup today, leading things off, the designated hitter, Malachi Hayes. Hitting second is Brady Williams. He's in left field. Batting third today, Mason Nance at shortstop. The cleanup hitter is Banks Hartman. He's at first base. Batting in the number 5 spot is the third baseman, Shamada Brown. Batting sixth and playing right field today is Marlon Bowen. Batting 7th at second base is Jake Flowers. Hitting 8th today, catching, is Drew Krause, and batting in the number 9 spot is Travis Gamache. He's in center field. Colby Lewis, the starting pitcher today for the Battling Bishops. Lewis, 3-8, the win-loss record, but the ERA 2.94 today. And we'll break that lineup down a little bit more when we come back. Starting lineups have been read. We'll get ready to get the USA South tournament started when we come back. Greensboro, North Carolina, home of Ted Leonard Park and the number 1 seed Greensboro College Pride for the USA South Tournament. But game number 1 is William Peace against North Carolina Wesleyan, and we will kick off the USA South Tournament. Hello, everyone. Kendrick Fruits here with you from Ted Leonard Park in Greensboro, North Carolina. And let's take a look at the William Peace batting order. Leading things off in center field today is Caden French. Connor Moss in left field. Batting in the number 2 spot, Gavin Turner, the third baseman, will hit third. Batting fourth is the catcher, Nate Roller. Leland Barrow in right field hitting fifth. Batting sixth and playing shortstop today is Eddie Sanchez hitting seventh, the designated hitter. That's Aaron Kimball hitting eighth, and playing second base is Kyle Peters, and Nick Wiesner batting ninth, playing first base. Starting pitcher today for North Carolina Wesleyan, Colby Lewis. No, not the Colby Lewis that used to be the longtime starter for the Texas Rangers. But I'll tell you what, Colby Lewis, an incredible season. Don't let the win-loss record fool you. 2.94 earned run average. This is a guy who will get some swings and misses. He's not going to allow a whole lot of walks, just 18 on the year. And opponents hitting just 255 against him. An incredible year for Colby Lewis of North Carolina Wesleyan. He is coming off a campaign back on the 24th against Methodist. Roughed up a little bit, 4 runs in 5 innings, a little uncharacteristic for him, but not that long ago, the 10th of April, gave up 2 runs in 8 2/3 innings against Pfeiffer. So here is Caden French to lead things off, and we're ready to get underway. Lewis is ready. First pitch. Swung on, hit in the air into right field. Bowen is there, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out, and that is what we call efficiency. Let's set the defense for you here. Left to right in the outfield. It is Brady Williams in left. Center field is Travis Gamache. In right field today is Marlon Bowen. Third to first in the infield, Shamata Brown at third, Mason Nance at short. Second baseman is Jake Flowers. First pitch is a called strike to Connor Moss. At first base is Banks Hartman, and behind the dish today for Lewis is Drew Krause. Lewis delivers. That's hit on the ground. Tough play in the hole for Nance at short. Will throw well late, and an infield base hit for Connor Moss. Moss, a .383 hitter in the regular season, had an infield base hit, and that'll bring up Gavin Turner. We talked about him a little bit in the pregame. .394 hitter, 4 home runs, 33 runs batted in. First pitch today at 12:59. And Turner swings, drives this into left field. That ball's got some carry. Still going back. It is going to one-hop the wall. Moss rounding second. He'll head into third, and it's a stand-up double for Gavin Turner. And the Pacers making some noise here in the first inning. 70 degrees, first pitch temperature. It'll be 72 by the time this game ends. Brings up Nate Roller now. Roller second on the team amongst qualified hitters with a .364 hitter, with 18 runs batted in. That one tapped foul, count 0-1. Here's the pitch from Lewis. Late swing there and fouled off by Roller. North Carolina Wesleyan, the home team here, as the number 4 seed out of 6 that made the USA South Tournament. Their ace Lewis in trouble here in the first inning. Breaking ball down and away, and Roller will hold up, and the count is 1-2. So a fly out, a single, and a double to start for the Pacers. Here comes the 1-2. Inside, check swing, did not go around 2-2. It was less of a swing and more just Roller trying to get out of the way. It is breezy here today at the TED, and I've seen more sweatshirts than you would expect to see for the last day of April. Here comes the 2-2. Breaking ball hit on the ground towards third. Brown picks it up, is going to throw home the tag late, and the Pacers on the board. Not a hard hit ground ball there. Shamada Brown picked it up. I think took just a little bit too long to throw it home, and it costs cost Wesleyan as the Pacers lead it 1-0 now, fielder's choice. And we welcome in another member of our broadcast crew today, making her broadcast debut. You probably know her from her job as an athletic trainer at Greensboro College, Jaden DeWitt. Jaden, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Hey, Kendrick, thanks for having me. Super excited to be on the broadcast today. Always been on one side of the field. Excited to see the same side of the field, but a little different.
You got to look through the chain link fence. I apologize for that.
It's all right. A little bit of a hard time seeing over the table. Got a little height disadvantage. It's okay.
First pitch to Leland Barrow in there for a called strike. Barrow, the right fielder, number 5 in the lineup today for William Peace. Lewis delivers the 0-1. Misses down, count 1-1. Yeah, it's funny because you and I have a lot of pre- and post-game conversations, Jaden, and sitting there going, I know she knows ball. We got to get her up here sometime, and so I'm glad we were able to make it work.
Yeah, super excited. I've been playing softball since I was 6 years old, retired at 22 from Florida Southern College, but always happy to be around the diamond.
The 1-1 hit on the ground to short, and Nance bobbles it. May only get one, flips it to second. They do get one. I tell you, Mason Nance was setting up for that double play, and I think just took his eye off the ball there, and they could only get one out.
Yeah, no, those are tough. We call those out here a TED hop sometimes. But a good job staying with that, making sure he gets at least one out of that.
So Gavin Turner goes to third. Roller is out at second, so a couple of fielders' choice here for William Peace, and that will bring up the number 6 hitter, Sanchez. Eddie Sanchez, a .273 hitter with 7 runs batted in. Lewis deals upstairs 1-0. Well, Jaden, you saw both of these teams this year. I don't think we saw Colby Lewis when they pitched against Greensboro and Asheboro. But one thing I remember about both of these teams is that they could hit.
No, absolutely. I think the Wesleyan series was an absolute barrel party. I think both games got to double digits for both sides, except for the second game, which was just an odd 2-3 rubber match. But at all other times, the barrels were flying.
Another breaking ball from Lewis. Snap throw down to second. Return back home is, he's called safe, a double steal. I think the tag got him. I'm going to be honest. I think the tag got him.
I think it got him a little soon. It's hard whenever the tag's applied to the head because, you would think the hand could get there a little bit sooner. It's a tough call, but.
So it's a stolen base for both Barrow and Turner. Excitement here in the top of the first. William Peace, a 2-0 advantage.
Yeah, it's a nice way to get a little 2-out rally going, getting to push a little bit extra runs instead of just leaving the first inning with 1 run.
This one hit high in the air into right. Bowen makes the catch. Little adventurous out there as he fights the sun, but that is the final out of the inning. But 2 runs come across for the Pacers. They take a 2-0 lead to the bottom of the first on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Time now to take a look at the starting lineup for North Carolina Wesleyan. Leading things off, and the designated hitter today, Malachi Hayes, hitting second is Brady Williams. He's in left field. Mason Nance, the shortstop, hitting third. Banks Hartman at first base is the cleanup hitter. Shamada Brown at third base, batting in the number 5 spot. Batting in the number 6 spot today, playing right field, Marlon Bowen made a couple of catches last inning. Jake Flowers at second base hitting 7th. Drew Krause, the catcher, hitting 8th. And batting 9th, playing center field today, is Travis Gamache. Taking a look now at the starting pitcher for William Peace. Ethan Hummel getting the start today. And 1-2 record this year for Hummel, an 11.49 earned run average. And this is a guy who made 13 appearances during the regular season with 4 starts. Opponents hit 278 against him, which in the grand scheme of things, not bad in the USA South. The problem for Hummel, though, is 40 walks in 31 innings, and that'll bite you.
Yeah, no, those unearned runs really find a way to keep being annoying, but it's always a nice feeling if you can find a way to get those out.
So that will set up Malachi Hayes to start things, a .324 hitter with a couple of home runs and 21 batted in. And Jaden, we talked about it just a little bit in the top of the first inning about how both of these teams can hit, but it's kind of funny because while they both hit for high average, there's still kind of some different feels to it because William Peace only had 8 home runs this year. The pitch will hit Malachi Hayes to start the game, but North Carolina Wesleyan had 20, including 11 from Mason Nance. So they can both hit, but just a different kind of hit.
No, absolutely, and I think it's different kinds versus if you're scrappy, those little base hits
Sure.
that tend to fall in can really demoralize a team almost a little bit more than a home run, some may say. Home run, you kind of just bounce back, but if they just keep hitting you with base hit after base hit after base hit, it can demoralize a pitcher real quick.
This is Brady Williams, also a .324 hitter this year. Left-hand hitter. He actually led the Pacers in stolen bases this year with 22. There's a strike. And the count 0-1.
And when we look at those walk numbers, it can, bite you in different ways depending if you're facing one of those big hitting teams versus the little hitting teams, or those base hitting teams.
This one a bunt towards third. Tough play for Turner, but he makes a nice play on the sacrifice bunt. There's one away, runner at second. I'll tell you what, I remember last year, Jaden, when William Peace was here and Gavin Turner was a freshman. I said, this kid's going to be something, and he just continued that this year with a .394 average. Plays great defense for William Peace, and clearly the star of this team.
No, absolutely. I think it's really crucial to have those pieces that you can build your team around. Someone who can really lead both on and off the field. Can't speak to his off-the-field character, but on the field he definitely leads by example and shows them how to get done in high-pressure situations.
First pitch to Mason Nance, just missed wide, 1-0.
And, I mean, being able to be unselfish in those situations and being willing to take a sacrifice bunt to move your friend over from first to second so he gets in scoring position is, it's really important, a big piece of the game, even if it seems small.
Nance, a .313 hitter this year, led the Battling Bishops with 11 home runs. His 35 runs batted in, second on the team, takes down and in 2-0. Clouds kind of breaking up a little bit right now. It was a very overcast morning.
Yeah, the weather's been a little hit and miss here. Up in the shade, it gets a little cool when the breeze hits, but out in the sun, it's a beautiful day for baseball.
Just missed. Oh, no, that was a late called strike, 2-1. Guess I'll have to be patient today.
Yeah. Never know what the umpires want to do for some dramatic effect sometimes.
Have you seen the one at softball sometimes? You almost have to count 3 Mississippi before he either does or doesn't make the call. There's a called strike. Count 2-2.
No, it's those ones when you have to count or, he whispers something to the catcher and the batter so they're in on the play. But as someone in the dugout, you're ready to fight up a storm because you didn't get the pitch you wanted, and then he calls it and you got to, oh, sorry about that. My bad. Good call. I agree. I was just excited.
2 balls, 2 strikes here to Nance. Hummel delivers. That's popped right side. It's going to curl foul. The question is it playable? Long run, and no catch made by the right fielder, Barrow, who slid, made a good effort, but just couldn't get to it.
Yeah, those ones are tough, especially with the grass changing into the dirt there. There's a bit of a lip, which you can easily lose your foot, and so I like that call to make the slide, making sure he doesn't tumble into the fence. Maybe giving up a longer strike, but, ultimately keeping yourself safe.
Well, not only that,
always my priority.
Sure. Not only that, but thinking about the wind today, too, it's going to be tough for the outfielders. The combination of the wind and now the clouds breaking up may be an adventure for outfielders today.
Yeah, the wind keeps the seaman want to switch directions. Flag's not moving out very much in center field. So those are the times in between pitches you pick up some grass, let it flow, see where it's taking you.
Grounder to first. It's foul. Count stays 2-2. And Hayes will have to head back to second. Well, I think about this past weekend, we finished the regular season against Brevard, and that Sunday marathon, if you will, a 3-hour and 40-minute game, and started the day. I want to say we started the day with sunlight, and by the time the game ended, it was, I think it rained, 2 minutes after the game ended?
Yeah, something like that. No, we were having some senior night festivities, and by the end of it, we were holding tents down, making sure they didn't blow away while we were trying to pack up the food.
Yeah, that was tough. They had I guess they had some barbecue or something catered here, and that's a lot of stuff to break down with weather on the way.
Yeah, we were being sent home with trays full of pulled pork. Athletic training really appreciated that Monday. Shout out to Miss Barini.
That one hit on the ground, up the middle, just past the dive of second baseman Peters. Here comes Hayes. He will score on the RBI single from Mason Nance, and it's a 2-1 ball game. For Nance, his 36th run batted in this year, and that brings up Banks Hartman, leading the team with a 368 average, 1 home run, 31 batted in.
Yeah, I really like Peace being able to use the base hits to try to just string hits together to score some runs instead of necessarily relying on the long ball, because as we know, the Ted doesn't not necessarily like to let it fly. But
when it does, it comes in bunches.
Oh, absolutely. But you don't get that run without, Gavin scoring that sacrifice bunt earlier, and he's at bat.
That is the second hit by pitch from Hummel here in the first inning. That one hits Hartman. He goes down to second. Nance goes to second. Hartman at first. And that brings up Shimada Brown. Shimada Brown, 364 average, 4 home runs, and 40 runs batted in.
Yeah, both hit by pitches on a lefty-lefty matchup, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe just having a little bit of issue controlling that side of the plate, and it pays a little more whenever there's someone standing there for your miss.
Which to me tells me one of two things. Either A, he's just releasing it a hair too early, or B, he's trying to establish the inside corner of the strike zone.
Yeah, I mean, neither of those batters looked too far in on the plate. They weren't necessarily testing him on that inside corner. But, it's always good to establish, like, hey, this is my plate, this is my box. Back up a little bit until you lose it, and they get a free base out of it. Got to try and limit those, especially early here in the game.
Especially as you're trying to figure out what are the umpires going to give you on and off the corners.
Especially when you got to wait an extra 3 seconds
to
see if they're going to give it to you.
Here comes an 0-1 from Hummel. Breaking ball high. Nope, never mind. Catches the top of the zone.
Just like that.
Where you go, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi? 3.
Yeah, okay.
General consensus here is 3. Here comes an 0-2 from Hummel. I feel pretty confident that one was out.
Pretty confident that one's a ball.
Nance the runner at second, the tying run, the early goings. 2-1, William Peace, if you're just joining us. Game 1 of the USA South Baseball Tournament, 2026 edition. Here comes a 1-2 from Hummel. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's out number 2. And again, when we were reading his numbers, he doesn't give up a ton of hits by USA South standard. But I think the question is, because control is suspect sometimes, when do you give up those hits? Leadoff single, not going to kill you. Single with 2 runners in scoring position, yeah, a little bit more.
That'll hurt you a little more. And, I mean, it's always you want to get that first out to start the inning off on the right foot. And, I mean, you can't do much about the hit by pitch and then followed by a sac bunt. 2 Mississippi and that's a ball. Yeah, he called it pretty quick. But no, being able to recommand the zone, especially in those higher pressure situations when you have a couple runners on, to get yourself that second out, breathe a little bit, head into that next batter, try and get your third.
The 1-0 to Bowen is a called strike, and the count 1-1. Marlon Bowen in right field today. He is a .258 hitter during the year with just 3 runs batted in. This is just his 6th start this season. Hummel with the 1-1. Down and away 2-1.
I think those 2-out situations are also just so important, especially when you have a team that likes to barrel the ball like Wesleyan does. Being able to take that sacrifice fly out of the situation.
Hummel, a left-hander, working third base side of the rubber. Set at the chest. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and fouled off of the catcher off of the catcher Roller. I don't remember if I gave the defensive alignment, so let's go ahead and do that. It's Moss in left, French in center, and Barrow in right, third to first around the infield. It is Turner, Sanchez, Peters, and Wiesner with Roller behind the plate. Two balls, 2 strikes. And Hummel delivers, breaking ball, fouled off. So, Jaden, I'll introduce you to one of our favorite games here. It's called Parking Lot Roulette.
Oh, okay.
When someone fouls a ball off, you look and see what kind of car or whose car took a beating. But people have parked smartly here today, and most of the near side is empty.
They have. Makes me a little worried when our boys start to roll up for game 2 here of our doubleheader. Not many of those prime parking spots in the back left.
2-2, half swing, strike 3. Ethan Hummel minimizing the damage. An RBI base hit from Mason Nance puts the Battle and Bishops on the board. We go to the second. 2-1 William Peace on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Top of the second inning coming up here for the Pacers. It'll be the bottom third of the lineup. Kimball, Peters, and Wiesner against Colby Lewis. And, you know, one thing, Jaden, as we start to work our way into this game, Lewis's first pitch fouled, third base side out of play. You know, Colby Lewis, 2.94 ERA from a starter in the USA South, practically unheard of. Mm-hmm. And so I think if you're William Peace, you got to think, hey, we may have to make, 2, 3, 4 runs stand up today. You're not going to get a whole lot of opportunities against one of the best pitchers in the conference.
Yeah, no, those runs are going to be coming at a premium, especially when you're having to rely on the earned piece. Not many free bases given up, if I'm not mistaken.
No, 18 this year.
And, for a base-hitting team like that, it's important to try and get runners on in early, just like that, leading off with a base hit.
Yeah, base hit for Kimball right up the middle on the ground. He was a .239 hitter, but I like to say it doesn't matter what you did in the regular season when the tournament comes around.
Postseason play is completely different.
Yep.
We very well could see 6 brand-new teams here in the USA South. It's really anyone's game.
Kyle Peters, a .325 hitter in the regular season.
I think people at the bottom of the lineup may get a bad rap of being, maybe not the best hitters, but I think they also play an important role of being able to turn the lineup over.
Absolutely.
So you're more consistent at the top.
especially if you've got somebody at the bottom of the lineup, as that's a called strike, who's got a high on-base percentage. I like to call him a wraparound leadoff person, somebody in the 9-hole who gets on, and then you're almost table setting for 1 and 2 instead of 3 and 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I know in softball, when slapping is a little bit more prevalent, that was either my job. I probably either led off the inning or was hitting ninth
Sure.
to kind of be that secondary leadoff, giving it back to the top of the order.
Lewis ready with the 1-1 to Peters, who shows bunt. Bunts it right back to the mound. Lewis's only play is going to be to first in time. Sacrifice successful, and Kimball goes to second. Well, Jaden, I know that this is, for us, a neutral game here on the Greensboro College Sports Network. However, because it is the Greensboro College Sports Network, we can pass along some information that the first game of the softball tournament is over in Greensboro College, a 1-0 victor over Southern Virginia in Game 1 today.
And heck yeah, to the pride. A bit of a pitcher's duel for our girl Raina out there.
Yeah.
But really held her own. I think I saw at least one hit. It was just a bump for a base hit. But
I think 2 was the last total that I saw, yeah.
Okay, very nice. But not letting either of those score. Great job to the pride over there at Pfeiffer, Coach Bree. Starting off the conference tournament with a
done
win.
for the day?
I believe
okay.
so.
Here comes an 0-1 outside to Wiesner. Well, I'm sure they can all breathe a little easier here today, knowing they're not in that win-or-go-home situation in their second game, which, by the way, is what we will see later today here at the TED, as that's a line shot made, catch made, rather, by the first baseman, Hartman. They throw to second. They double him off for the double play. Good defense for North Carolina Wesleyan, and we'll unpack the rest of the bracket when we come back. We go to the bottom of the second. 2-1 your score on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Bottom of the second inning, it'll be the bottom third of the lineup. Flowers, Kraus, and Gamache for North Carolina Wesleyan here in Game 1 of the USA South Tournament. Kendrick Fruits, Jaden DeWitt here with you from Ted Leonard. And Jaden, we were talking about it when that last inning ended very quickly, which, by the way, huge bit of momentum for North Carolina Wesleyan. But loser of this game will play Greensboro in the nightcap today, and if Greensboro wins, we'll see our first elimination of the tournament.
Absolutely. As someone who is a supporter of the Greensboro College Pride, I'm really hoping for that scenario to work itself out. But it's always tough being the first game and, you know, giving up that first win. And
Sure.
It's your role to try and come back out the other side a lot more difficult.
And also, kind of looking at the numbers here, for Wesleyan, obviously, there's a huge jump in ERA from their number one starter, Lewis, to wherever they might go after that. It's interesting in the case of William Peace, rather, because their starter today, Hummel, ERA of 11.5 coming into today. But if he comes out here and throws a good game, you're kind of sitting pretty if you're William Peace. Then you've got options.
No, absolutely. I think that's always a big question of how are you going to manage your bullpen in these games where it is maybe a win or go home, but also if you win, you have 3 more games down the line. Where are you going with that? And I know we talked a little bit about his command on the inside corner. That first pitch kind of painting the inside corner a little too far, but not far enough to hit our other lefty batter here for the Wesleyan lineup.
Jake Flowers, a .320 hitter this year. Hummel delivers, waving at that one. Strike three in the dirt. And the throw down from from Roller to finish the strikeout, out number one.
And I mean, as a coach, when you're going to managing your bullpen, sure, you can look at the stats and everything, and maybe it wouldn't have been your first choice to put in someone with an 11 ERA, but if that gut feeling's there and he's getting hotter towards the later end of the season, it's like we said, conference play is a whole nother beast, and it could be a whole new team, and kids maybe shine in those pressure situations.
First pitch, a strike to Kraus. The other thing to watch, too, for Hummel today, his longest appearance this year is 6 1/3 back in March. He's not thrown more than 4 innings since then, so unless he's gotten stretched out a little bit, I don't know that he's necessarily long for the game. Could be that they've got a piggyback situation with somebody else ready to go 3 or 4 innings behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you know that guy's probably only going to get 4 innings as a pitcher, it might not be that last minute, you got an inning to warm up. Go get him, kid.
Right.
But you kind of know your time. You know your team. Maybe it's a real good 1-2 combo with whoever they got coming out of the pen next. Another factor you got to think about. Bullpen management could just be such an interesting topic. You could probably have a whole collegiate class on it.
Well, you know, Greensboro's kind of had to work that a little bit this year. Is that one inside to Kraus? The back half of the season, I think, regardless of which order you run them out or Coach Fennessy's run them out, Richards and Federspiel have kind of been that tandem at times this year. Federspiel's just been impressive being able to start the game or come out of the bullpen and be pretty equally as effective.
No, absolutely. Especially as a freshman, I think that's a really big piece. With Mike Rich being such a key part of our pitching staff for the past 4 years. Final season with him on the Greensboro Pride, but having someone like Federspiel being able to come in and fill some of those roles that we might be losing is a really big piece for us. He's a great kid. Lovely to work with him.
So Kraus works a 1-out walk. That is the first walk issued by Hummel today, and that'll bring up Travis Gamache, the number 9 hitter. And I think this is kind of what you talk about, that number 9 guy that can set the table a little bit. A 308 hitter, gets on base at a 357 clip. Hummel fires that one behind Gamache, a wild pitch that will allow Kraus to move up to second. I think that's kind of what the scouting report was. It's not that he gives up hits, it's the control.
No, absolutely, and I think he just got to settle back in. Good call by the catcher here, just to go have a word with him.
Absolutely.
A couple of those last pitches were a little risky, but, you know, a little tap of the chest from our pitcher here, just making sure, like, hey, my bad. Catcher calls him out, say, hey, let's talk about this. Calm down a little bit. We'll get right back into it.
Early line score, 2 runs on 3 hits for the Pacers, 1 run on 1 hit for North Carolina Wesleyan. Your bracket, again, looks like this. Wesleyan and William Peace playing now. The winner will play game 1 tomorrow. The loser will take on number 1 seed Greensboro later this evening. In bracket number 2, game 1, Methodist in Southern Virginia, which I believe is a 3:30 first pitch today. And again, the winner will play tomorrow, and the loser will take on number 2 Pfeiffer at a 7 o'clock first pitch. And between now and the end of the first round, there are 400 different scenarios as far as timing and who plays when. Is that pitch fouled off? Not to mention the fact that there's a 70% chance of rain on Saturday.
And so, you know, as the hosts, we're just going to hope here to try and get it done in 2. Try and avoid that weather as we tried to last weekend with senior night, moving our schedule a little bit around to try and avoid that rain that eventually hit us during our lovely cookout. But, you know, weather is just one of those things. It's uncontrollable, and it's a part of the game. And, you know, look at the tournament last season with us and Brevard having a 2-hour rain delay in the middle of the game, and it was who can come back and refocus to kind of come back and win those games. It's ultimately just a piece. It's not fun, but it's another part of being outdoors, another part of the beauty of baseball and all the different factors that go into it.
Error on the third baseman, Gavin Turner there. Tried to backhand that ball and just kind of kicked it a little bit to the side. No chance of getting the runner Gamache. So 2 aboard. Kraus still down at second, could not advance. So leadoff man Malachi Hayes comes up now. So then I'll ask you this, Jaden, as Turner comes in just a little bit at third base. Do you prefer early season baseball weather where it's freezing cold, or late season where it's either really hot or it's raining?
That's honest. That's a tough matchup. I prefer what it is at this very moment. If it could be 100% of the time, beautiful sunny 75. I don't prefer the cold. Absolutely not, because my fingers lose circulation like nobody's business. But also being a meteorologist isn't my favorite part of the job, and it's always hard battling weather, trying to guess as best as you can what's going to happen with it, and ultimately at the end of the day, you make the call that's probably going to be wrong.
I say this fully joking because obviously, my complete unbiased opinion, you guys do a fantastic job.
Oh, thank you.
But I remember first the 2-0, that's down and away 3-0. You guys kind of were the villain a little bit in that game against Brevard. We hit a lightning delay with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Mm-hmm. And we were just like, guys, we needed one more out.
Yeah, no, I tried my best. Coach Fenn tried his best of, slowly walking to the other end of the dugout. But ultimately, I stepped on the field and I was like, we got to quit.
Got to, yep.
Rules are rules. And then I think the tough part was coming out to have Mike Rich throw a single pitch. Ultimately, a lot of warm-up pitches.
Sure.
And then one pitch to finish the game. And then we had to turn around and do it all again.
I want to say it was about a 2-hour delay just to go through that last pitch. High bounder towards second. That ball's going to stay down a little bit. Goes to second for one. Relay to first. In time. A 4-6-3 double play. Peters to Sanchez to Wiesner. And that will do it for North Carolina Wesleyan in the bottom of the second. Double plays coming up big for both teams. We go to the top of the third. Peace leads it 2-1 in the Greensboro College Sports Network.
Leading off for the Pacers, center fielder Caden French.
Top of the third inning. It'll be the top of the lineup for William Peace, French, Moss, and Turner. And the first pitch grounded right back to Lewis. Tall right-hander with the underhand toss to first. One pitch, one out. And I want to say
baseball.
I want to say that's the second time today he's gotten that. I think the first inning started that way as well.
I was out running water, making sure everyone was good before we got started here, so I missed that play.
I'm going to lean over here. Steven, is that right? French started the game with the first pitch out as well? Yeah, so he's seen 2 pitches today, and he's 0 for 2.
Oh, wow.
Brings up Connor Moss. He's 1 for 1 today. Colby Lewis is just 23 pitches into his day. And now there's a conversation between head coach Greg Clifton and Colby Lewis. Did they call a balk on him?
I think they just called a reset.
Oh, okay.
It No, Cat's still 0-0.
Yeah,
I think
so
you're just calling a reset saying something went wrong.
I think Clifton was saying that he already started his windup, and the umpire was saying he hadn't. Obviously, I know that the umpire is the sole arbiter or the chief arbiter, but I feel like the head coach would know what your starting pitcher's windup looks like more than the umpire.
Well, that part, and you would hope the umpire would be able to know what it looks like 3 innings into the game.
You're right.
But only seen 23 pitches.
Including a nice curveball there for number 25. It's in there for a strike. 1-1. All 3 runs in this game have been earned runs. That one misses 2-1.
I mean, that's the kind of baseball that you really like to see. You're really having to push for the runs,
Yep.
really having to earn them. And, tip your cap to the pitcher on making those runs be earned, not giving too many free bases.
A weak line drive into right field. A base hit for Connor Moss. He's 2 for 2. And that brings up Gavin Turner. His error last inning didn't hurt William Peace, but he's going to look to make up for it anyways. He's 1 for 1 today with a stolen base. Pacers have already swiped 2 bags today, part of the double steal in the top of the first inning. Now Lewis working from the stretch. The right-hander delivers, and it's low. The count 1-0. Kobe Lewis, a sophomore from Rocky Mount. It's impressive. Think about how good he is as a sophomore, and he's still got 2 seasons left.
Absolutely. I think that's a really big pull for Wesleyan to be able to take
Yeah.
a local kid like that who has a lot of talent, saying, hey, stay local, stay close to mom and dad, help us build a team around you, see how far we can get.
Makes me think of a couple years ago, Wesleyan had Tyson Bass in right field and ends up being a starter for the University of North Carolina the next year. That pitch up and in, count 2-1. Kind of makes me think of what may be a similar situation for Greensboro, at least in terms of production. There's absolutely no way Trevor Testerman should be here next year. I will be tickled to death if he is, but he shouldn't be.
We've had conversations. Trevor's an absolutely great kid. Real sweetheart. Not afraid to give me some sass, though, that's for sure. But I know part of his story is he really loves football and being able to play football.
Sure.
And having that opportunity here at Greensboro, not something you would probably find if you went to one of those Power 5
You're
schools.
Right. 2-1 breaking ball in there for a strike, 2-2. Also helps when you're 50% of a power couple that was just named male and female athlete of the year.
Yeah, we refer to them as the king and queen of the Rorys.
Pretty much, yeah.
Peyton Chiplett and Trevor Testerman.
2 balls, 2 strikes here to Turner. Lewis delivers, runner breaks for second. Hit on the ground is short. Stabbed there by Nance. His only throw is going to be to first. And in time for out number 2.
Nice little hit and run there.
Yeah, you kind of get the equivalent of a sacrifice bunt in terms of result. And it was a great job there for the Pacers to stay out of a double play, because if you don't send the runner there, I think that's an easy 6-4-3.
No, it was taking him up the middle. Just a little toss to your second baseman. I absolutely agree. Would have been out of the inning with, yet again, 0 runs.
Which would have been, I think, the 3rd double play of the game already.
Double play to end the inning, yeah.
Yeah, yep, you're right. This is the catcher Roller. He's 0 for 1 with a run batted in and takes ball 1. We're alternating the smart people and then me and Steven in between you guys here. 3 of you with long sleeves and then me and Steven just in the middle, just crossed arms.
If it makes you feel any better, even in the long sleeves, I am still cold with a little bit of breeze. Really regretting not grabbing my hoodie before I left the house this morning.
Well, I looked at mine this morning and I said, I should grab that. And then
walked out the door.
Well, part of it is getting a toddler ready for daycare. There's a lot of things that happen to make that go in the morning.
That's fair. My cat's pretty self-sufficient. She doesn't need a lot of help getting ready in the morning. I could use a little more help. Woke up a little bit late today.
2 balls and a strike here to Roller. 3 of the 4 hits in this game have come from the 2 and 3 spots in the lineup, so Pacers trying to get some production from the rest of it now. Check on the runner at second. Moss, he's back safely. The wind kind of coming in towards us, so fly balls to the outfield to be knocked down a little bit. Like we alluded to earlier, though, that could change direction in the next 15 minutes. There's a strike.
15 minutes, 15 seconds. As soon as the pitch comes, you never really know what's going to happen out there. And, as an outfielder, you kind of think, like, there's almost different layers to the wind. Like, depending on how high the ball gets, and, we've seen it can get pretty high. Might be a different direction over there.
Base hit into left field. They're going to wave around Moss. Here comes the throw home. It's not caught by the catcher. Goes back to the backstop. It's going to be an RBI base hit for Roller as Moss scores. Kraus tried to short hop. It wasn't going to be able to make the tag.
No, I don't think they would have had that play on the plate. And I think as a catcher, you just got to know that. And you got to know your job at that point is to block it up. Make sure he's not getting any extra backs. Which he ended up saying at second anyways.
So it is a base hit for Roller. Goes to second on the throw. Picks up his second run batted into the game. And that brings up Leland Barrow now 3-1 Pacers.
I think if you're the Bishops, that's the kind of stuff you got to look out for.
Yeah.
Those little base hits that are just base hit you to death. I'm making sure you're not making mistakes on those plays, not giving them any extra opportunity to move another 90 feet, keeping pass balls, wild pitches at a minimum.
That pitch upstairs, 1-1, and I know technically not an error on that play, but I think if Kraus catches that cleanly, you at least have a chance to make a throw to second base. So, while not technically an error, little things like that could come back and bite you.
No, absolutely, because, I was watching the runner seeing if maybe he wanted to take 3 and he was kind of just jogging up easy into second. Would have liked to see a little bit more hustle, but...
I was watching, don't judge my preferences, but I was watching a Yankees-Rangers game yesterday.
That sounds fun.
But it kind of speaks right into what you were talking about as that pitch fouled off. Yankees got a swing and a miss, strike 3 as the runner was breaking for second. And it was on a 3-2 count. Runner thought it was ball 4, so he slows up before he gets to second base. The Yankees catcher threw down, tagged him out. They challenged the pitch. Ends up being upheld for strike 3. But I was like, if he hustles down there, that's not a double play to end the inning.
Yeah, no, and I think, as the base runner, you got to just make those decisions and try not to leave it up into the hands of anyone else, making sure I'm doing my part and I've gotten on the back, because it's not going to kill you at the end of the day to run those extra 10 feet, put in a little bit of 10% more effort.
Yeah, might kill me. I'm a little out of shape, but that one hit high in the air. First base side, it's foul. Will it be playable for Hartman? That's going to be a no.
Yeah, I will tell you, coming from a softball background, those 30 feet absolutely make a difference between the speed of the game, how far you have to run. Some of the players have been trying to get me to participate in a practice and keep making deals of if you get 60 runs in a week, then I'll participate.
But you took BP one time, right?
I did get to take BP with the pitchers. Made contact a couple times.
That one fouled off.
But no base running for me. 90 feet's a little far. As a slapper, I would go 60, maybe 120.
Okay, all right.
That's where I capped. Station to station, very much.
Give the pitchers any pointers on how to hit?
Some of them I had to, yeah. We also had my athletic training student come out, and she had never swung a bat before.
Really?
Yeah, it was super fun. Getting back to those days of squish the bug.
Weak ground ball to third. Shamata Brown off balance. Throw to first, not in time. It's an infield base hit. And Roller advances to third on the slow roller. Runners at the corners.
And that's Peace just doing Peace things.
Yeah.
As the pitcher, you got to kind of try and reset here, making sure, hey, let's lock and let's get this next guy. We only have 2 outs, so runner on third isn't necessarily the biggest threat. Focus on the guy that you got in the plate.
And it's like we said, they're not going to bomb you. They just hit the ball well. And that last one may have been a dribbler, but it looked like a line drive in the box score.
There's no pictures in the scorebook.
That's right. 6 hits for the Pacers now, and Lewis again finds himself in a jam. That one up and in at the head of Eddie Sanchez. That's going to load the bases, and I know your athletic trainer, Hart, just skipped a couple of beats there.
Just a little bit, making sure, is he going to stay in the box? Is he going to take his helmet off? Is he holding it?
This will bring a mound visit here for North Carolina Wesleyan. And again, I think this is a very important part of the game right here, Jaden, because 3-1, not unmanageable for the battling Bishops. But if William Peace starts something here with 2 outs and the bases loaded, this game could get out of hand. So I think it's important to settle down your star pitcher and say, hey, this has to end right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And then being sure if you can get out of this jam, trying to take that as the momentum piece, not the runs or hit by pitches given up. But, hey, we got out of a bases loaded jam. Let's go. Let's get some more insurance runs so we can get back on the field and get it done and shut down. It's all about trying to find momentum even when it's not necessarily on your side. How are you creating it?
Only 1 extra base hit of the 7 combined so far today. Brings up the DH, Aaron Kimball. It's like the first game of Greensboro's doubleheader on Friday against Brevard. 23 combined hits, all of them were singles.
No, and I think that it speaks to the conditions. It speaks to our lovely home here at the TED. If the ball's not flying, you can't force it to go over the fence. There's no such thing as a 16-run home run. At some point, you got to get base runners on, and the way you do that is base hits.
1-0 coming to Kimball, breaking ball in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. And I tell you, the one thing that I think Lewis can come back to is he is still getting that curveball in for a strike. Or maybe it's a slider. I can't quite tell.
I've never been one to recognize the spins on it, but got him swinging there.
1 strike away from getting out of a bases-loaded jam. 1 run already in for the Pacers. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. That one darts down and away. Lewis gets out of it, leaving the bases loaded, but 1 run comes in for the Pacers. They extend their lead 3-1. We go to the bottom of the 3rd on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Bottom of the 3rd, it's going to be 2, 3, and 4 coming up here. Williams, Nance, and Hartman against Ethan Hummel, who's thrown 40 pitches in 2 innings. Pitch number 41 is a strike. 24 strikes and 41 pitches for Hummel. Colby Lewis through 3 innings has thrown 50 with 34 of them for strikes. Hummel's 0-1. Hit on the ground to second. Good bounce there for Peters on to first. Maybe not 1 pitch, 1 out, but it's the next best thing.
It's pretty close. I think if you're Wesleyan, just trying to make those adjustments, making sure at least you're getting the barrel on the ball, not little rinky-dink hits, not the fly balls, but making sure we're making consistent contact and the ball will find a way.
This is Mason Nance, who has the Battling Bishops' only hit today. Hummel's first delivery to Nance outside 1-0. 3 runs, 6 hits and an error for the Pacers, 1-1-0 for North Carolina Wesleyan. Battling Bishops, the number 4 seed, William Peace, the number 5. So in theory, pretty evenly matched.
And it's interesting because although Peace is the lower seed in the regular season, they took the series against the Bishops. So I think it's one of those things where anyone can beat anyone on any given day.
Well, and I always say, and not just in baseball, but from the beginning of August to when things end in May, that curveball, ooh, good pitch, doesn't get the call though, 2-1. The USA South, or really Division III in general, it doesn't make sense.
No, absolutely not.
You go along for the ride, you have a good time, but most of the sports defy logic in terms of who wins and the results on any given day. Tipped into the glove, 2-2.
No, and I mean, I think that's the fun part about sports is, like maybe Division I could be a little bit more predictable. The chaos of D3 is, out the window.
Give up 21 days, score 25 the next day.
Exactly.
Hummel's got some swing and miss stuff today. 3 strikeouts, and he's looking for number 4. Just off the outside corner, tried to get Nance to chase, and he did not.
Yeah, not a bad miss there. I kind of like that pitch. Close enough where if maybe it's an umpire who's not super locked in, like our guy behind the plate, might give it to you if your catcher works hard enough, but, not necessarily a pitch for it to be well hit.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Takes something off of it, and Nance strikes out. Strikeout number 4 for Hummel.
A little swagger walk around the mound.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, and I think, too, if you're William Peace at this point, one, you're feeling good about your starting pitcher and thinking, maybe Hummel could get you 6, maybe 7. You turn it over to the bullpen there. Maybe you make a 2-run lead stand up against the Battling Bishops.
And that's what you hope. You just got to win every inning. And for Hummel right now, that means holding this Bishops team to 0.
Off of the glove, or maybe off of the knee of the shortstop Sanchez. It kind of smacked off of, I don't know. I thought it hit his knee. I almost thought it missed his glove and hit his knee.
I think it missed his glove, kind of got him in the knee a little bit, which, why it ricocheted all the way to the foul line.
It was hit hard and officially scored a base hit for Hartman. So that'll bring up Shimada Brown 0 for 1. I'll tell you what, Jaden, obviously it has been an absolute pleasure to have you up here with us. The one thing I do miss, though, is I don't have anybody down there I can text and say, hey, who's in the bullpen right now?
Yeah, no, I did give us walkies, but unfortunately those are for medical use only. I'll do my best to use some supervision to see who we got down there.
Here comes the 1-0. Shimada Brown pops it up out of play. Third base side, 1-1.
It's always fun. I usually double check with Coach Fennessy and be like, hey, is it okay if I tell Kendrick this? I don't know if it's on the down low. For the Guilford game, when we went with the 9 pitchers, 9 innings, I had to double check.
Oh, my
I was
goodness.
Like, can I let him know that this is the plan? Can I tell him the order?
Actually, that one wasn't as bad as the one that we had last Saturday. Ooh, curveball there from Hummel hits Brown in the back.
That's another lefty-lefty hit by pitch.
Yeah, third today. And that has been an issue for William Peace this year. I'm going to pull up the exact number here, but while I'm doing that, it made me think of the Brevard game on Saturday where Sawyer, their leadoff hitter, played 9 positions in 8 innings.
Well, in 8 innings, we I think the plan was to give him 9.
Yep.
But we had the lead, and we're like, hey, bottom of the 9th ain't happening. So they pulled him off the mound and put him behind the plate. Took a little bit of extra time. Thankfully, we still avoided the rain, which is what I was worried about.
Yep.
But I know that was a substitution nightmare up here in the press box.
So here's the interesting thing. His first pitch swung on and missed here. Last year, William Peace led the USA South in hit by pitches as a pitching staff, and it wasn't even close. They hit quite a few people in the Greensboro series this year. This year, they only hit 52, which put them 6th out of 8. Although they have hit 3 today.
But, making those adjustments, making sure, each year you're building off of the next.
Throw down to second. Not in time to catch Hartman napping off of the bag. It's 1-1 to Marlon Bowen.
But good job by the Peace pitching coach staff to try and limit those hit by pitches, whatever adjustments they made between last year and now.
And I think the other thing that we're seeing in the early going today, too, is they're good, at least Hummel is, at getting the ground ball and getting the well-timed double play.
No, absolutely, and it's not necessarily the errors or the mistakes that you make. It's what you do after them.
Sure.
So if you're getting a hit by pitch, hey, let's turn a double play here. Make sure it doesn't hurt us later. Only one error up on the board, but those don't necessarily constitute hit by pitches, mental mistakes, things like that.
Bishops 1 for 5 with runners on base today. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, strikeout number 5 for Hummel. Leave 2 stranded. We go to the top of the 4th. Pacers lead at 3-1 on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Bottom of the 4th inning. Nope, top of the 4th inning. I can count, I promise.
It's all right. Math's hard.
This is tapped foul here, count 1-1. Colby Lewis facing Peters, Wiesner, and French. Peters, a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Grounds this one deep in the hole at short. Nance, off-balance throw. Did he keep his foot on the bag? Yeah, he did. Great
Beautiful play.
Both ends of it, too. Mason Nance going deep in the hole. Off-balance throw, and a great job by the first baseman, Hartman, to keep a foot on the bag.
No, absolutely. You got to tip your cap, but very much a team play over there. Very athletic over there at shortstop.
I would if I had one, but I did not bring a hat today.
Always got to bring a hat to the ballpark.
Well, I used to, but now that we've got the shade built here, I normally don't this season.
I gotcha. I get too many flyaways. Got to keep them too. I have a really nice hat wall in my office. I think it's a 4x4 grid.
It's impressive.
Of hats. Thanks to baseball, I think it's contributed 90% of them.
How far back do some of those go?
I think there was one that was in the Lost and Found, and it has like our old logo.
The Hornets logo? Or
no. The old Lions head logo.
I was going to say, if you had a Greensboro College Hornets logo, I would be...
Oh, if I had a Hornets hat, I'd be wearing it every day.
Here comes the 1-1. That's a called strike.
Got to take his time there.
Hey, we're all just enjoying a nice day at the park. What's the rush?
Absolutely. No, shout out to Coach Chris Fennessy, always making sure my closet stays stocked with the latest Greensboro College gear. I'm running out of room because I can't build it up or else I won't be able to reach the hats. But I think there's only 2 that I'll consistently wear to the ballpark because I wore one the other day and the game didn't go well, so that one was taken out of the rotation.
Little flare into left field. It's going to hang up there, though, for Williams. He'll make the catch, 2 outs. And that will bring up French, the leadoff man, who's seen 2 pitches today. How much do you want to bet they told him take the first pitch?
I'm wondering, or maybe that's his approach, or maybe it's the scout. But we'll see what he does here. Some people are just their first pitch swinging every single time.
He does take the curveball, and that's a strike.
I think he was taking that all the way.
I think so. I think because he was 1 pitch, 1 out in the first inning. Next at bat as well as he takes inside 1-1. I never gave his numbers.
He went too quick for you.
Yeah, 331 hitter, a home run, 28 batted in. Team high 23 stolen bases this year as he goes fishing and comes up empty 1-2.
And I'd love to see the breakdown of the stats of how many of his hits were first pitches.
Yeah. Here comes the 1-2. Chased again, strike 3, pitch down low. Krause has to scoop it up, throw down to first. Little close, but got him. A strikeout by Lewis. That is his second of the day. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Peace leads at 3-1 in the Greensboro College Sports Network. Well, the day is done for Ethan Hummel. Went 3 innings, gave up 1 run. It was earned on 2 hits, 1 walk, and a new season high 5 strikeouts for him. Jaden, what'd you see from Hummel today?
I mean, I think, there were times where we were questioning about his command with those 3 hit by pitches on lefties, but overall, I think he did a really good job of bouncing back, making sure that he always was facing the next batter, moving on very quickly. Memory of a goldfish, some might say. But overall, was able to get some swings and misses. The things that were working real well when he was able to take command.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think seeing here Maddox Brown coming into pitch, and we talked about, maybe Hummel goes 3-4 innings and they piggyback him with another guy who can do that, and I think that's exactly what they've done. Maddox Brown making his 14th appearance of the year, 2 starts. He is 0-2 with a 4.70 ERA. 20 walks, 25 strikeouts. Opponents hit 257 against him. So, again, another pitcher who doesn't give up a ton of hits, and, in fact, one of the better relievers for William Peace this year.
Yeah, and I think that was probably intentional of how are we going to manage the bullpen. Maybe we go with someone that they didn't necessarily expect to start, given that he had such a high ERA. But, he did a great job coming in, doing his job, holding the Bishops to only 1 run. And then making it a bit of a team effort, not necessarily because Wesleyan was killing him, but it was just his time, making sure, you stayed on top of it before things got out of hand.
Well, and I don't know if I should say that I looked at the USA South Awards. I don't think they do a relief pitcher of the year. It's just pitcher of the year. It's like okay.
I think they did have starting pitchers. I can double check if they did do a relief pitcher of the year.
I think they might have separated first and second team. Is this one on the ground to short, throw to first in time, and that's out number one. Because I was going to say that William P. certainly has a guy who would be in that conversation, in Seth Svedeba, 1.66 ERA in 17 appearances this year.
No, we had first team starting pitcher, relief pitcher.
Was Seth Svedeba
was first team relief pitcher.
Shocker.
And then their second team starters and relief. 2 starters, 1 relief pitcher.
Fly ball into center. Kind of drifting into right center. Catch made there by French, and that's out number 2. And that's the other thing, too, because William Peace has 5 relievers, or guys that were primarily relievers this year, with ERAs under 4, led by Svedeba's 1.66. So safe to say you're comfortable with how good your bullpen is. If you want to get your starter early, you've got enough guys in the bullpen that can get the job done. Pitch up high to Gamache, 1-0. Here at Greensboro College, we had a good bullpen this year, but it was not statistically to the level as the bullpen as William Peace, as there's a base hit into left field and the inning extends.
Yeah, I think we kind of struggle a little bit, especially in those early games when we're trying to figure out all the different pieces of who's going to be, fresh out the bullpen, who's going to be Mr. Consistent coming out of the bullpen. And if they're Mr. Consistent coming out of the bullpen, do we want to make them a starter?
Especially if your starters have developed elbow or shoulder issues and all of a sudden you don't have a choice. You got to pull somebody out of the bullpen.
Yeah, which I cannot necessarily disclose.
No,
but overall,
no.
pitching staff's been able to stay pretty healthy, which I'm, always ecstatic about. Not for a loss of having seen me. They are in there pretty consistently.
Well, I
able to keep them on the mound.
I think, too, just in general, not going into specifics, but in general from a health standpoint, I think they're in a better spot than they were last year.
I would say so, yeah. And, I think being able, just coming in as a second-year athletic trainer, already knowing them, I think they were able to utilize me a little bit more. But, in experiencing baseball, I think pitchers are so particular about their pregame, their postgame, their recovery, what they like to do, when they like to do it. And a lot of times they have it under control.
Runner breaks for second. I think they would have had him out if the catch had been made, but the ball caroms off of the glove of the shortstop Sanchez into right field. Advancing to third base is Gamache. I think it's going to be an E6.
Yeah, I think that's a tough play for, I believe, the shortstop who was trying to catch it, and that the throw was, right on his helmet. And so I don't know if maybe the glove tipped off the helmet before it got the ball.
Either way, that's a big second run for the Battling Bishops, now just 90 feet away. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, they've got to find a way to come up with a 2-out hit.
Absolutely. I think these are kind of pressure situations that you'd really like to look for more senior people. Our DH here, leadoff batter. And someone who's not selfish enough to want to be in that big moment, but able to take the walk and know that, we need base runners ultimately. So I really like that from him, not necessarily swinging out of his shoes.
I kind of get the impression at this point in the game, we kind of got a feel for how this game's going to go. And this isn't going to be a 12-11 final score.
No,
this one. So at this point, you got to get one here.
Yeah, I think runs are going to be at a premium for sure, and especially with 2 outs, knowing you can't rely on the sacrifice fly. You don't necessarily need the biggest swing because the Ted's not really going to let you go out. But can you get a base hit? Can you drive in that run and move another 90 feet?
Go ahead.
Yeah, or can you, get a walk and trust that your next guy's going to have your back and be able to do the job as well?
The thing about the wind here at the Ted is it's very stop-start. And I think 90% of the home runs this year, somebody's just found a window between the gusts of wind.
Those are the baseball gods talking to you, Kendrick. When you've earned it and you've been barreling up the ball and, falling just a couple feet short of the fence, one hopping it, no J, as they say. Baseball gods will bless you every now and then.
Here comes an 0-1. Swing and a miss, and 0-2 now. Williams going to have to shorten up your two-strike approach. Brown delivers the 0-2 way outside. And the count 1-2. Gamache at third, Hayes at first. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball hit on the ground into right field, a base hit. Gamache will score. Hayes stops at second, and the Battling Bishops get one back. It is 3-2 now. Big two-out hit.
And, it's not the most glorious thing. It's not the thing you picture when you're taking BP and getting those feel-good hits. You're swinging for the fence. He's not necessarily, a ball between the first and second baseman, but whatever gets the job done and pushes one more run is good.
So that brings up Mason Nance. 1 for 2 today with a run batted in. Team leader in home runs. That one up and in around the head of Nance. The count 1-0.
You wonder what goes through the head of the William P. starter Hummel of, could that have been me out there? Could I have gone one more inning? But at the end of the day, you got to trust your teammates. And all you can do from the dugout is making sure you're cheering on your pitcher now. We are in a two-out situation, so it's not impossible to get out of it further unharmed.
Brown can get something on the ground here for William Peace. And they're going to check down to first base, say that Nance did not go around. So now you're sitting on a 3-0 count. If you're Nance, I think you've got to take here. Make him throw you a strike.
No, absolutely, and then make him get into a bases-loaded pressure situation. Right. But you definitely can't be too selfish here as the batter. Or rather, you got to be really particular about what you want to swing at.
He did take it. 3-1 now. Banks Hartman, the cleanup hitter, waits on deck. So this is definitely the part of the lineup that you want to have come up in this situation.
No, absolutely. And as the pitcher, it's definitely a part of the lineup that you wish you would have avoided.
Here comes a 3-1 to a dangerous hitter. Fouled off, count runs full. Well, that'll put the runners in motion. 3-2 count and 2 outs.
These are the pressure situations that you practice and you dream of as a kid. Really trying your best. We'll see what he's able to do here.
Brown and Nance. Here comes the 3-2. Hit in the air. It's curling towards the right fielder Bowen. The right fielder Barrow, and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Again, I think the wind knocks it down a little bit. 2 runners left on for the Battling Bishops, and we go to the top of the 5th inning. One more inning with Jaden DeWitt. We come back. It's 3-2 Pacers on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Top of the fifth inning. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 coming up here. Moss, Turner, and Roller for the Pacers. Their lead has been cut to 1. And Colby Lewis delivers first pitch called strike in the count 0-1. Moss is 2 for 2 today. North Carolina Wesleyan, after leaving 2 aboard in the bottom of the inning, Jaden, they've now stranded 7 base runners in 4 innings.
And I mean, I think that kind of speaks to how their offense usually produces runs. The long ball not necessarily being able to work here, having to rely more on those base hits. Maybe started figuring out, finding a couple barrels here and there, a couple base hits for him.
Low throw there from Kraus. Strike 3 from Lewis. That is his 3rd strikeout of the game. And I tell you what, the thing about Colby Lewis, you give up the 3 early runs. He's not pitched badly in this game, and he's just at 65 pitches. He could still give you another 2.
No, absolutely. And I mean, I think, 3 runs off of 6 hits, being able to limit those 6 hits, seeing how many runners you can strand. It's not necessarily the end of the world if you give up a hit, because as a pitcher, it's going to happen. But, what do you do after those facts? How do you get out of those jams?
Double clutch from the catcher. Kraus thought that last one was a strike, didn't get the call. That pitch down low, so now 2-0 to Gavin Turner, who's 1 for 2 today. Distracted there is our director of sports information is also, I guess, our sound technician today. Hot shot off of the glove of the third baseman, Nance, into left field, or off the shortstop, Nance, rather. Almost made a great play on it, but a hard hit single there for Turner.
Yeah, absolutely earned the hit there. No way that's an error, even though it tipped off his glove. He did his best to try and stop it. Would have been an amazing play had he made it.
See, I'm just giving you a hard time. You do a great job. Don't say anything, Jaden.
No, it's not Monday, so
Well,
Steven and I have squashed our beef all days except Monday.
Swing and a miss. The count 0-1. It was 2 days, so you gave up on a day?
We did. It turned out, so for those who have been following us on Greensboro College Sports Network, on Fridays, our baseball team wasn't known for their production or their win record. I don't believe we won a single conference game on a Friday until Brevard. So Steven and I decided maybe it's our negativity and we need to bring more positivity to the environment. So we made that sacrifice. Those superstitions never really leave you.
Pitch upstairs. Yeah, I looked at it. In terms of series, so take out midweek games and take out the Triad invite, Greensboro went 9-1 on weekend series this year. They did not lose a single conference series. The 2-1 hit on the ground towards second, could be 2. Flip to Nance for 1, the relay to first late. So out number 2, and now runner at first base is Roller. I'll bring up Leland Barrow, who's 1 for 2. Yeah, the only series the Greensboro baseball team lost this year was being swept at Oglethorpe.
And speaking of superstitions, I blame myself for that one. That was my birthday weekend.
Oh, that's right. You didn't go, did you?
I did go.
You did go.
I was there for my birthday, as I was with the team in Georgia for my birthday last year. In my history of playing sports since I was 6 years old, I have yet to win a single game on my birthday. Apparently that includes the teams I work for. Coach Fennessy has confirmed we will not be playing the weekend of February 28th, so you can clear your calendars. Maybe take a vacation at that time. I'll be free.
Line drive into center field. It's backing up Gamache, but he'll make the catch. That's a pretty clean top of the 5th inning for Colby Lewis. We are halfway home. The Pacers lead at 3-2. One more half inning with Jaden DeWitt before we let her do what athletic trainers do. We'll talk to her one more half inning. 3-2 Pacers on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
First baseman, Vince Hartman.
Bottom of the fifth inning, and it will be 4, 5, and 6 coming up here. Hartman, Brown, and Bowen. And after William Peace able to get out of a little bit of a jam last inning, you face the cleanup hitter with the bases empty now instead of with 2 aboard, which is what it would have been, or perhaps even the bases loaded. Here's the 1-1. Or excuse me, the 1-0. It's outside 2-0. Hartman is 1 for 1 today. Maddox Brown, his second inning of work after replacing Ethan Hummel. 2-0 is a called strike, 2-1.
Good, able to dial it in a little bit. You know, as a pitcher, you want to be able to attack early, fill up the zone, and don't want to let this leadoff runner on.
And I'll tell you what, too, is that pitch missed out the count 3-1. For us joking about the home plate umpire earlier today, I think it's been a solid zone.
No, I think it's definitely one of our better, more consistent zones we've seen
Agreed.
throughout the season.
A pitch up and in, ball 4. I especially, and I'm in a really good spot to see what would be the inside corner to lefties, outside corner to righties. I think that has been a very, very accurate corner today. So I can only assume the other side of the plate's been similar.
I would think so. I don't quite have a view of either because I can't see over the catcher. Steven's telling me to grow up a little bit. I'm trying my best, but 5'2", it's honestly, it's pretty good for my family.
Here's Shimada Brown. He's 0 for 1. Strike in the count, 0-1. So here's the dilemma. Brown is one of the leaders in runs batted in for North Carolina Wesleyan. But small ball here, if you bunt the potential tying run to second base, so what do you do?
Personally, I'm a big fan of small ball, and I think, you know, you got to trust it. But I also am not there at batting practices, and if he's able to lay down a bunt, I know you sometimes got your go-to bunt guys. Like for us at Greensboro, we have Shane Garrett, super consistent with his bunting skills, and some others just can't get it done for whatever reason, no matter how many push-ups. They
Is that
can't
the
figure the
punishment?
bunt out sometimes.
I know modern-day analytics would fight you on that. A lot of people will point to numbers, and of course you can skew numbers however you want. A lot of people say that it's more valuable to not give up an out, if you will, to try to just have a regular at-bat, even if you're hitting behind a runner. I've seen numbers that go both ways on it. Is that pitch outside 2-2?
I mean, I think it all depends on the situation.
Sure.
Because, you know, if you're able to get the bunt down.
How bad do you need that run?
Are we comparing, like, a bunt for an out? Or if you had swung, what's the likelihood you would have struck out or not done anything productive? You know, a bunt's almost a guarantee that you at least get to move that runner over.
Exactly. There's strike 3 looking, and we're going to talk about productive. That is not what North Carolina Wesleyan wanted to see. A strikeout will bring up Bowen now. He's 0 for 2.
Yeah, I will say that last pitch almost had me crossed up. Had a lot of really good movement on there. Good job from our pitcher. I think those are the situations where you have to talk about selflessness or selfishness. Like, are you looking for that home run pitch, or are you looking for something that you can get out of the infield to move the runner over?
I'll tell you what, Maddox Brown's got that curveball going right now for William Peace. 6 strikeouts combined between Hummel and Brown. Hartman off of first base. Here comes the 0-1. Goes with the high fastball, count 1-1.
The Peace pitching staff's done a really good job of limiting this Wesleyan offense.
It has.
You know, only 4 hits so far going into the 5th inning. I think that's really big for them.
Here's the 1-1, a curveball again. This one inside, 2-1.
I think he was trying to see if he could sneak by with a hit by pitch there.
He was trying.
Getting out of the way.
Sometimes it's how much can I dive into this pitch while making it look like I'm getting out of the way. 2-1 from Brown. That one up and in, 3-1.
That one very much getting out of the way. Wasn't taking that one to the elbow.
I think hitters are a lot more receptive to getting hit by a breaking ball. Here's the 3-1. In there for a strike and the count full. Bowen trying to sell ball 4 there. Home plate umpire was not buying.
No, he did not like that call. But 3-2, what you going to do?
Runner breaks for second. That's hit on the ground to third. Turner scoops it up. Throw on to first base in time. And that's the second time today where we have seen a double play taken really out of possibility by the runner breaking with the pitch.
Yeah, by a really good timed hit and run call by the coach.
Second baseman, Jake Flowers.
But also, a really good job of whoever's at bat to be able to get that job done. The worst thing is one of those things when you call a hit and run and you end up with a fly ball to right field, and now the runner just has to spend the whole time trying to get back to the bag in time. Or worst case, a line drive and you get double played.
Mm-hmm. Here's Jake Flowers 0 for 2 with a strikeout today. Brown, Bowen, and Flowers, the 3 hitters here this inning, combined 5 strikeouts today. Left-hand hitter Flowers. That is a called strike. And I tell you, if you're a believer in pitchers having the advantage in terms of same-handedness, William Peace loses that advantage by going from the lefty Hummel to now the right-handed hitter or right-handed pitcher Brown, because there are so many left-hand hitters in this lineup.
And I think that's also something you got to consider is, was he able to regain control of that inside part of the plate on lefties? And, it still was kind of hit or miss, getting a hit by pitch in those later innings of his appearance. So not necessarily a bad move, depending on how he's able to control the zone against all those lefty hitters, or is it a liability at that point?
He's trying to establish that outside corner, and he's missed on a couple pitches here, 2-1. We are about an hour and a half, a little bit over that into this game. Second game scheduled for 5 o'clock. Breaking ball hit on the ground to short. Sanchez bobbles it, fires it to first, almost recovered in time. Oh, did they just call him out?
They call him safe.
Okay. I was about to say, no way. That's the second error today for Sanchez.
I'm honestly surprised by how close that play at first ended up after everything that happened. At first I was going to say, why are you going to throw that ball? But, it was a pretty close play down there at first base.
So this crossbar right here just happens to be the midsection of the umpire in my line of sight. So I could really only see his shoulders move.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a lean. I could see the umpire's call. Couldn't see the play, but saw the result.
See, we work together, teamwork. Fly ball. Oh, this is curling into right center. Oh, and that's going to be a extra base hit off of the bat of Kraus. 1 run comes in. Here comes the throw home. Play at the plate. He's out by a mile. But the first run comes in and scores. We are all tied up at 3 as the bottom of the 5th inning comes to a close. Excitement there as Kraus lines it into right center. Diving effort there by the right fielder Barrow, and it's a 3-3 ball game. And Jaden, thank you so much for hanging out with us for
Thanks
5
for
innings.
having me.
I would say
Your
debut was a stunning success.
Oh, thank you.
And we wish you the best of luck in the nightcap today, and you're welcome anytime. Always a headset for you.
Thank you, Kendrick.
That was Jaden DeWitt, athletic trainer for Greensboro College. We go to the top of the 6th inning. We bring in Jay Sean Ayala when we come back on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Top of the 6th inning. It'll be Sanchez, Kimball, and Peters here for the Pacers, joined now by Jayshawn Ayala. And Jayshawn, what have you seen here? Well, hang on a minute. This one, line drive into right. Bowen there makes the catch, out number 1. It's been a good pitching performance for both staffs today.
Yeah, I mean, I love a good pitching performance. Not too many hits for the home team, the Wesleyan. But, you know, a couple errors from Peace has made it a little bit harder for them to keep that lead. But we got a tie ball game on our hands.
Should be fun going down to the finish. Here's the pitch to Kimball. He'll take down and away. The count 1-0. Kimball 1 for 2. Now Colby Lewis with just 77 pitches on his day. And I think, too, as that pitch just missed inside 2-0, I think you could make a case that he's looked stronger as the day's gone on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, he leads the USA South in earned run average, just under 3.0 at 2.94, and he's definitely showing that today.
3 runs on 7 hits, 3 errors for the Pacers. Wesleyan, 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors. Little moment delay there as Krause ran back into the dugout, but now he is returned. 2-0 coming from Lewis. That's outside, 3-0. Lewis has not walked a hitter today. In jeopardy of doing so here. Working quickly, the 3-0 pumped in for a strike.
If you're a pitcher and you want to make your pitching coach happy, you don't give out free bases.
Just missed off the low outside corner. That's ball 4. That may be one you tap your helmet on if you're this is a major league game. Wouldn't hurt to look at that one, but that'll bring up Kyle Peters 1-0, or is 0 for 1 today.
Gotta say the ABS system is a very, very.
It's been nice.
It's been nice. It was a much needed change.
That pitch inside 1-0. And, you know, I think, Jayshawn, the one thing that makes it successful is the fact that it doesn't take 2-3 minutes. It's almost instantaneous, yeah.
Tap of the hat. Let's get it moving.
Strike in the count 1-1 to Peters.
Also love to see games end on the ABS challenge. That's also very fascinating.
Here comes the 1-1. Another breaking ball. That's inside. And the count 2-1. Although I feel like that would be the most anticlimactic ending to a World Series.
Oh, yeah, no. Don't end my World Series like that. But a regular season game, yeah, it's cool.
Here comes a 2-1 from Lewis. That's fouled off. Parking lot roulette. Oh, that one car is in trouble.
Ooh.
Just missed a black SUV. I think it ended up going on, skipping off of the back of that silver truck.
Starting to rethink where I parked. I kind of.
Where are you?
I have no clue. I really don't remember. Really hope I'm not in this vicinity.
You got to park on the other side.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-2. Poked into right. Long run for Bowen, but he settles under it, makes the catch. And hustling back to first base is Kimball. That's out number 2.
It's a little bit behind that one. Had to lunge out for that one.
So that'll bring up Wiesner, who's 0 for 2. Bottom of the lineup, bottom 4, a combined 1 for 8 today for William Peace. They've gotten the production from the top of the lineup today. First pitch coming, breaking ball, strike. I tell you what, I think part of the success for Colby Lewis today has been the ability to throw that curveball for strikes.
Yeah, he's able to throw it for a strike. He's also able to mix it up, kind of change the eye level.
Yep.
So keeping hitters on their toes.
Next pitch for him, though, will be number 88. Hit on the ground, into right field, a base hit. Kimball will stop at second. 6 innings may be all he can go. Just looking at where the pitch count is. That'll bring up Caden French.
Got to look at that replay. Just a good piece of hitting right there. Hands through the ball. Send it right past the second baseman for a knock. Keep the inning going.
And a mound visit here for the battling Bishops. Lewis went 8 2/3 against Pfeiffer 3 starts ago, threw 95 pitches in that one. So to me, this is a mound visit where they say, hey, this is your last inning, empty the tank right here.
8 2/3 with you. How many pitches?
95.
95. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, my. So, yeah, this probably will be his last inning of work, but able to get out of it with no damage here. Opportunity to get out of it with no damage.
Maybe his last hitter regardless. French is 0 for 3 today. Then you get into Moss, who has 2 hits, and Gavin Turner, who also has 2 hits. So this could just be a, hey, you're the last guy, or this is your last guy. Now, you'd love to get your reliever out to start a fresh inning, but in a 3-3 game, sometimes you don't get that luxury. That pitch inside 1-0.
Especially in the conference playoffs. Any
Sure.
type of playoffs, bullpen management very key, so coaches are hyper vigilant about pitch count, situations, stuff like that.
And unless you're planning on piggybacking, which it kind of feels like that's what Peace intended to do all along, this one grounded right back to Lewis. On to first in time. That will end the threat. But just to finish that, unless you're planning on piggybacking, kind of seems like in a tournament style thing, your success is determined on how deep your starter can go. Good day today for Colby Lewis. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, all tied at 3 in the Greensboro College Sports Network. Bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be 9-1-2. Gamache, Hayes, and Williams. North Carolina Wesleyan. Well, Gamache, a topper to Sanchez. Low throw. Got him. Good job there by the first baseman, Wiesner, to bail out Sanchez. Out number 1. We go back to the top of the lineup and Malachi Hayes. But, Jay Sean, what I was about to say was, if you're North Carolina Wesleyan, kind of feel like this is your opportunity to finally make a statement in this game. You've knocked the Peace starter out, started to get a little offensive momentum. We've scored in 2 innings in a row. You have the top of the lineup here.
Exactly. Haven't been able to lead today yet. Heart of your order coming up. You just gotta understand this is where you tack on those runs. This is where you take your first lead. And then if you're Wesleyan, you want to keep that lead.
Especially like I was talking about with Jaden when she was on here. William Peace has some great arms in the back of the bullpen too. So you want to take advantage. And that's not to say Maddox Brown is bad. He's had a very good year himself. But you want to be able to do your damage before you see a Spadeba or before you see Hayden Heath or Harrison Glover, some of those guys with ERAs in the low 2s. Here's the 1-1. High in the air to center. And a long run in for Caden French. Started back and lost his hat on the way in. Makes the catch out number 2. That brings up Brady Williams. He's 1 for 2 today with a run batted in. Williams, Nance, and Kraus, the 3 RBIs for the Battling Bishops. First pitch in there for a called strike to Williams, 0-1.
Got to give a shout out to Wesleyan for their mascot name, the Battling Bishops. Like that a lot. One of the better ones in USA South.
A pitch outside. You know, a lot of teams go with the double word name, the Battling Bishops, the Avenging Angels, the Fighting Squirrels.
Definitely makes our lives harder up here, but it is cool.
Two balls and a strike. High ground ball right back over the middle, off of the glove of the second baseman, Peters. It was a high chopper over Brown. Peters tried to scoop it up on the short hop, kind of kicked off the heel of his glove there. It's going to be an infield base hit for Williams, and that brings up Mason Nance, 1 for 3.
Just a hard play to make. Bouncer up the middle. No man's land. Unless you got Jeter at short, I mean, it's going to be difficult.
Is that hard for you to say as a Mets
fan?
Very
hard, very hard.
Breaking ball to Nance, pokes it out, foul territory, first base side.
Just the first name I could have thought of, but I could have said Lindor, but, you know, I didn't want to do that with what he's been having going on.
Here comes a 0-1 to Nance. Nope, check over to first base. He's back in safely. Count remains 0-1. You talk about the teams, arguably their best hitters, Turner for Peace, Nance for North Carolina Wesleyan. That's hit on the ground into left field, a base hit for Nance. Williams goes to second. I was about to say, it just kind of feels like either Nance or Turner's got to do something to take this game over, one of the two of them, and that'll bring up Banks Hartman now. We'll see if that 2-out base hit for Mason Nance leads to something here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Hartman already 1 for 1 in this one. Runner in scoring position. As you were saying earlier in the inning, this is their time to take their first lead.
Battling Bishops are actually hitting well, 6 for 10 with 2 outs today. This one swung on a little flare into left field. It is caught. A great play in left field by Caden Moss. A dive that would take away a base hit and potentially the go-ahead run. And that will send us to the 7th inning as we look at this replay. A great play for William Peace. They come up to bat now. Top 7 when we come back. top 7. And a new pitcher for the Battle and Bishops delivers first pitch a strike. This is Chase Chappell. Give you his numbers here in just a minute. I'll tell you what, first thing you can tell about Chase Chappell, though, he's got a live fastball. Final line for Colby Lewis goes 6 innings, gives up 3 runs, all earned on 8 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Here's the 1-1, down and away, 2-1.
Got to give a shout out to the USA South ERA King. As you said, 6 innings, only 3 earned runs. Quality start, in my opinion.
Chase Chappell's been a starter all year. This is his first appearance out of the bullpen. Made 10 starts, 7.04 ERA. Little flare into right field. Bowen's going to have to play it on a hop. Chappell, 24 walks, 42 strikeouts. Opponents hit 317 against him. I don't hate the thought process here, though, especially in a short weekend tournament, if you will, which is essentially what this is as Gavin Turner comes up. And to me, too, when I think about Isaiah Faldoa with Greensboro, somebody like that who's already a hard-throwing starter, you ask him to give you a couple innings out of the bullpen, you'll throw even harder by a couple miles an hour. Turner swings, high pop, shallow right. It's going to go foul, and catch not made there by Hartman. It's a tough angle for him, so the count 0-1.
Like you said, I mean, you could throw one of your high-end starters, maybe you're one of your midweek starters in a clutch spot in the conference tournament because you really just need these games. You need to win these games. So all hands on deck.
Yeah, not to say it's impossible to come out of the pod after losing the first game, but it's certainly not easy.
At all.
You have to win you have to win tonight, and then would have to win one tomorrow as well. And the good thing is, at least for Greensboro, who will have to face Wesleyan, whether that's either tonight or tomorrow, the good thing for the Pride is that curveball will hit Turner, is that you're not going to see Colby Lewis.
No, you won't.
90-some pitches today. 90 exactly. So, yeah, Greensboro won't see him.
What's the pitch limit in order to – there's no pitch limit in order to be able to pitch next game? Okay. So, I mean, still you want to keep your arms fresh, but –
go-ahead run at second base. That's Moss. Nathan Roller comes up 1 for 3 with a couple of runs batted in. And he's going to square. Drops that bunt down the first base side. The throw to complete the sacrifice. Hartman on to second baseman Flowers for the out. 1 away, but now 2 runners in scoring position. Moss to third, Turner to second. And something I was going to say is Turner obviously the hit by pitch. If you're North Carolina Wesleyan, there's worse things to do than put him on.
Absolutely.
Brings up Leland Barrow. He's 1 for 3. And a big opportunity. Infield comes in for the Battle and Bishops with 1 out in the top of the 7th. That pitch outside, 1-0. Barrow again, 24 runs batted in. That's third best on the team for the Pacers this year. Here's the 1-0. High topper to second base. Flowers, a throw home, not in time. It was actually the first baseman, Hartman, who fired it home, and sliding in under the tag was Caden Moss. And the Pacers take a 4-3 lead. It was going to be a tough play for either right side infielder because of high and slow that ground ball was. And William Peace takes advantage. You know, it kind of makes me think of the old Baltimore Orioles in the 1890s, who had a lot of guys who were contact hitters, as most people were in the 1890s, but they would harden the ground right in front of the plate for what has now been called the Baltimore chop. Their hitters would hit down intentionally. The ball would take such a high bounce. The speedsters, Wee Willie Keeler, Cy Seymour, a couple of those other guys, John McGraw, would be able to beat out those high ground balls, and that's where the Baltimore chop got its name.
We've kind of seen that been revived with Chandler Simpson of the Rays.
Yep, mm-hmm.
I mean, he's playing a completely different brand of baseball right now. It's hitting over a 300 clip, but most of his hits are just choppers, and he just legs them out.
So for the Pacers now, Gavin Turner at third, Leland Barrow at first. Give him an RBI. So there's going to be a pinch runner at first base for Barrow. Hayden Heath will come in to pinch run. And that'll bring up Eddie Sanchez. Sanchez 0 for 2 and a couple of errors defensively. This will be a huge opportunity for him to make up for those. He squares to bunt. Pitch outside, no throw from Krause. He bluffs as Heath will steal second. And again, for the Pacers, 2 runners in scoring position. I bet this will bring the infield in again.
Yeah, absolutely. Saw earlier in the game, William Peason, same situation, first and third, took second, and runner on third came home to score.
Yeah.
So Wesley definitely learned their lesson, didn't try to force nothing down to second.
Breaking ball down and away from Chappell, 2-0. Chappell works first base side of the rubber. Infield is in. Here's the 2-0. There's a strike on the inside corner, 2-1. Well, still just 1 out in the inning. If you're Eddie Sanchez, just hit something deep enough where Gavin Turner could possibly come in and score. You get a productive at-bat out of it. Here's the 2-1. Another high chopper, this time to Flowers at second. He'll look the runner back to third and get the out at first. That's what the Battle and Bishops were hoping for the first time. But now there's 2 outs and 2 aboard. Batter Kimball, he's 1 for 2. It allows the infield to be released back to their normal depth.
Big out right there.
Yeah, huge. Chappell delivers. That's top first base side foul. 0-1. Well, bottom 1, 2, 3, 4 in the lineup for the Pacers combined for just 2 hits today. Bottom 5 for Wesleyan, just 2 hits. There's a strike, 0-2 to Kimball. Chappell ready with an 0-2. The right-hander delivers fastball, fought off foul. Count remains 0-2. Again, this is the first game of the baseball tournament. Game between number 3 seeded Methodist, number 6 seeded Southern Virginia is a 3:30 first pitch, so about a half hour from now. Here comes an 0-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. A fist pump from Chappell, the throw down to first to complete the out. And that is a big out for North Carolina Wesleyan, but maybe not as big as the run that Peace was able to get across on the RBI fielder's choice from Leland Barrow. Pacers on top 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th at stretch time on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Bottom of the 7th inning, and William Peace goes to the bullpen. Maddox Brown goes 3 innings, gives up 2 unearned runs on 5 hits, walked 2, strikes out 1. And the new pitcher for the Pacers, first team all-conference, Seth Spadeba. Incredible year for the right-hander. Made 17 appearances during the regular season, went 8-1 with a 1.66 earned run average, 12 walks, 21 strikeouts. And get this, Jay Sean, opponents hit 196 against him.
I mean, does it get better than that? That is, if I could choose one pitcher to come out of my bullpen, it's going to be that stat line right there.
100%. Spadeva's first pitch fouled off. And the other thing, too, he's a guy that can go multiple innings. Regularly has gone 3 innings this year. So if you're William Peace, I think the formula is pretty simple, is let him take it the rest of the way.
Exactly. You already have your lead. Give the ball to your best reliever. Let him go to work.
Going to work against Shamata Brown, 0 for 2 today. That's a called strike. And I think the thing, too, for Spadeba is the fact that he's kind of got a little bit of a side delivery, and he takes something off of it, too. So you get a lot of movement from both of those 2 factors. Baseball got loose from the Wesleyan bullpen over there. Here comes an 0-2 from Spadeba. And that's fouled off. Good battle there by Brown. It's got to be somewhat disconcerting as a left-hand hitter to see that breaking ball bore into the left-handed batter's box.
Naturally, a lefty sitting on that curveball, dropping right into the zone, but no, this one's filthy.
Here's the 0-2. A poke into right field. Great job by Shamata Brown just to stay with that and go the other way. It's a leadoff base hit, and that'll bring up Bowen now, who's 0 for 3. Give a nod to the all-conference players in this game. First team all-conference participating in today's game, Gavin Turner, the third baseman for the Pacers, and Colby Lewis, the starting pitcher for North Carolina Wesleyan, and now Seth Spadeba, the relief pitcher for William Peace. All named first team. Breaking ball, a strike, 0-1. Second team nods to Banks Hartman of Wesleyan, Mason Nance as well, and Shamata Brown, all second team. First, and also Nathan Roller of the Pacers. So quite a few first and second team USA South this year in this game. Showing bunt and pulling back now is Brown. Pitch missed for a ball. 1-1, I believe, the count.
Looking at it now, Spadeva also the USA South leader in wins for a pitcher. So, I mean, very impressive season.
Especially from a guy who did not make a single start this year.
That is insane.
Check over at first base. Brown back in safely.
Guess the team just rallies around him when he's in the game. I mean, it's got that type of impact.
Keep it close till he comes in and take it from there. The right-hander ready. Here comes the pitch. Again, showing bunt, pulling back. Snap throw down to first base. Got him. Great throw there by Roller. And they get Shamata Brown out at first. That's a big out for North Carolina Wesleyan on the base paths. You can't afford to make those mistakes this late in the game.
I mean, what a play by Roller. The snap throw to first, one of my favorite plays in the game of baseball. Look at that. Does not get better than that.
So now that clears the bases. Marlon Bowen had been squaring the last couple pitches too, so that kind of changes that thought process. Spadeba curls that one, but too high, 3-1. Line score, 4 runs on 9 hits, 3 errors for William Peace, 3 runs on 8 hits, and no errors for Wesleyan, 1 extra base hit per side. The 3-1 catches the outside, corner count full.
I could have sworn that was.
That one swung on, hit high in the air into center. French there. Catch made. Out number 2. So that will bring up Flowers 0 for 3. Wesleyan has stranded 9. Actually, both teams have stranded 9 today. That one swung on, lined up the middle, a base hit for Jake Flowers, his first hit of the game. Brings up Kraus now 2 for 1 with a run batted in, but there, you look at it, and when you look at what Spadeba does, the movement, the velocity, which not that hard of a thrower, I think you tell these guys, look, you're going to have to create most of your power here, and as Jaden was talking about earlier, not going to hit a lot of home runs with the weather conditions the way they are here today, so find some outfield grass and do something with it.
No, not at all. I like what Wesleyan has done this inning, waiting for that curveball, especially the 2 hits have both been from lefties off of curveballs. So they're just sitting on that, curving right into the wheelhouse, sending it to the outfield for a base knock.
And if you're North Carolina Wesleyan, you have to try not to think about the what could be, which could be runners at the corners right now with just 1 out if Shimada Brown had not been thrown out at first. Here's an 0-1. That's hit high in the air into left. Should hang up there for the left fielder. Moss makes the catch, and that's the final out of the inning. We go to the top of the 8th. Pacers lead it 4-3 on the Greensboro College Sports Network. New pitcher for North Carolina Wesleyan here in the top of the 8th inning. Chappell went 1 inning, gave up a run on 1 hit, no walks, and a strikeout. And it is bottom of the lineup here, Peters, Wiesner, and back to the top for William Peace. New pitcher for the Battling Bishops, number 26, Aaron Holly. We'll talk about good relievers. He is another one. That pitch hit in the air, right field. Long run for Bowen into foul territory. Reaches, can't make the catch. It's a great effort as he ends up almost crashing into the tarp. But Aaron Holly making his 17th appearance of the year, 3.86 the ERA. 2 saves this year, 17 walks, 21 strikeouts, and opponents hit only .211 against him. We'll talk about batting average against for pitching. William Peace actually had the lowest opponent's average of .297 this year. Wesleyan was third best in the conference at 306. Here's the pitch to Peters. Just off the inside corner. 3-1. That's going to miss just outside, so Holly missed just in and then just out. Then you shake yourself about and do the hokey pokey, I guess. But that will bring up Wiesner now. Wiesner 1 for 3. Shows bunt, bunts it down the third base side. It's going to go foul. I tell you what, if you place that in the right spot, that's a great bunt because of how late he showed it. Nobody was ready for on the Wesleyan defense.
Yeah, I was about to say just a little strong and wide, but like the idea, good technique there. Got the hands down late, and we'll see if he attempts that again. But third baseman looks like he's ready for that one.
Here comes an 0-1. He does square, lays it down towards third. And Shimada Brown throws on to first in time, now down to second. Back in safely at second base is Peters. So a sacrifice bunt. William Peace has insurance standing at second base. This is the only baseball game of the tournament to be played so far. Southern Virginia and Methodist beginning at 3:30, so in about 15 minutes or so. Softball's been busy today. Pfeiffer defeated Salem earlier today 9-0. Meredith blanked Methodist 6-0. Greensboro beat SVU 1-0. Are you seeing a trend here, though? The team that has been designated the home team has won every game via shutout so far. North Carolina Wesleyan and William Peace also doing battle in softball, and the score there. Final score, Wesleyan has defeated Peace 3-2. So William Peace softball, the first loss of the tournament for them. So every home team in softball has won today.
Interesting.
Again, Wesleyan just defeated Peace 3-2. So Pfeiffer, Meredith, Greensboro, and Wesleyan all 1-0 on the softball side. And that is it for today. They'll head into tomorrow now with, I think, those game times still to be determined, at least publicly. A ball and 2 strikes to Caden French, who's 0 for 4 today. Well, now, maybe now it's a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Holly, poked foul. Look out, cars. Actually, that may have been close to a bus. Oh, it's going to clang off the back of a truck.
At least it's a truck.
Is that how you know it's not yours?
A little bit more durable.
Holly ready. Looking back at Peters at second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. French going down to get it. And he strikes out for the second time. That's 2 outs here in the 8th inning.
Love the idea there to go off speed and 2-2 count. Get some fish and 2 outs now. Almost able to get out of this without any further damage.
Connor Moss coming up now. Moss is 3 for 4. Moss has scored 3 of William Peace's 4 runs. Here's the pitch outside. 1-0. Should be the bottom of the lineup for the Battle and Bishops in the bottom of the 8th inning. So we will see Nance and Hartman one more time. And Shimada Brown. That pitch down low. Kraus tried to pick it. Instead, just kind of pushed it out in front of him, but runner Peters staying put at second. 18 hits combined, just 2 extra base hits, a double for Turner and a double for Kraus. Here's the 2-0. Strike on the outside corner, 2-1. I feel like that pitch was just called a ball a moment ago.
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm not sure about that one.
Here comes the 2-1. Breaking ball popped up. First base side, it's foul, but will it be playable? It will not. Count 2-2.
Huge pitch from Holly coming up.
Sure. And too, I think one level of this that we haven't really dove into this inning is with Spadeba on the mound for William Peace. You can't afford to let the deficit get any bigger.
At all.
2-2, tapped weakly back to Holly. He'll work down the side of the hill, underhand toss to first base, and that'll do it for William Peace in the top of the 8th inning. Bottom 8 coming up. Pacers lead it 4-3 in the Greensboro College Sports Network. Bottom of the 8th inning. And it's Travis Gamache leading things off 1 for 3, then back to the top of the lineup. Here comes the 1-1 from Spadeba. That's a strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
Spadeba does a great job of mixing up the speeds. I mean, I just saw two from this inning to last inning. His curveball is completely different in terms of velocity.
And I think part of what makes that so difficult, first the 1-2, weak line drive to third, easy catch for Turner, 1 out. I think when he throws the curveball harder, you get a little more east-west. When he takes something off of it, you get more dip north to south.
So he kind of has a traditional curveball and a little bit of a 12-6 when he wants to take some off of it.
Almost kind of some slurve action, if you will. Brings up Malachi Hayes, 0 for 2. Spadeba with the slow curveball, a towering pop into shallow center, called for and caught by French. That's out number 1. Out number 2, rather. And that will bring Brady Williams 2 for 3 with a run batted in. Steven, haven't you learned I can't read numbers and say another number at the same time? Yeah, that's right. You can't spell, I can't count. We're good. Here comes the first pitch to Williams. Fastball, called strike on the inside corner. Feels like pitchers have been struggling to establish that corner into lefties, away to righties today. They've been searching for it, but they haven't all found it. This time Spadeba tries to go away, breaking ball, misses 1-1. But we talked about the fact that he can go multiple innings. He's at 20 pitches right now, so you know you're going to see him again in the ninth. That's a breaking ball, strike two, and he had Brady Williams stepping backwards on that one.
I would have been stepping backwards and out of the box. I would have thought that was in the dirt and outside.
Williams now has to protect. Here's the 1-2. Fastball missed outside. The count 2-2.
As you said, his pitch count is still low. Got to expect to see him tomorrow, too.
Oh, he didn't even think about that.
It's insane.
But again, I think the one thing that could mess with that's struck. Oh, wow, I thought that was strike three.
Me as well.
They had Williams all sorts of tangled up again, counts full. But the other thing, too, Peace has 4 other relievers with ERAs under 3, so if you do empty the tank on Spadeba today, you've got options tomorrow. Here's the 3-2, and that's outside ball 4. What a battle there for Williams. Thought he was out on strikes the pitch before. He's able to work a 2-out walk, and that'll bring up Mason Nance.
Nothing like battling back as a hitter when you're behind in the count, getting on base with a walk, bottom of the 8th when your team needs it. Very important base runner standing on first.
Best power hitter on this North Carolina Wesleyan team by a long shot as that pitch outside. Nance had 11 home runs this year. Next closest had 4. Spadeba with the 1-0. Breaking ball inside to Nance, 2-0. Well, for as good of a year as he had, this is a spot where got to be careful with the 3 and 4 hitters here. 3, 4, and 5, all first or second team all conference. And it's just a 1-run game. Feels comfortable with Spadeba on the hill, but you know, anything, a 1-run game in the USA South doesn't mean anything until the last out's recorded.
Exactly. Not too comfortable of a cushion so far, but like you said, I mean, you got your best reliever on the hill. You got confidence in him.
2 balls and a strike. Spadeba delivers, curveball inside corner for a strike, 2-2. I don't know what they tell the guys, just good luck.
Yeah.
I guess.
I would not know what to do up there.
Nance tried, it looked like he was trying to kind of put that shoulder in position to get hit. Runner breaks for second. The throw is skipped into the outfield. I think a good throw probably gets him.
For sure.
Scored a stolen base for Brady Williams. And the count is full to Mason Nance. Now a base hit. Very likely ties this game.
And we go into the 9th with a tie game. Nothing better than that.
How else would you rather start the tournament?
Great.
A big 3-2 coming here from Spadeba. We'll see if Williams in motion again. Here's the pitch. Poked into left. Moss is there and makes the catch, and that is a big out there and a big inning for William Peace. As we go to the 9th inning, Pacers lead it 4-3 on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Top of the ninth inning, new pitcher for North Carolina Wesleyan. Holly went one scoreless inning, walked one, struck out one. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Pacers here. Turner, Roller, and Heath. New pitcher Jackson Pavone for the Battling Bishops delivers down low, ball one. Pavone this year made 14 appearances during the regular season, 4.50 the ERA, 4-1 the record, 7 walks, 18 strikeouts. Opponents hit .313 against him, but this is a guy with some good control on the bump for the Battling Bishops. And think about the fact that down by 1 here in the ninth, you don't want to give up any free base runners. It's a good guy to have on the mound to make sure that doesn't happen.
No, not at all. No free bases. Trust in your defense. Put the ball in the zone.
1-1 hit high in the air into left. That ball going back, and gone. Gavin Turner's 5th home run of the year. And in a pitching duel like this, that could be all the insurance the Pacers need.
Man, what a swing. We'll get another look at that one. Gives the Pacers a 2-run lead. He knew it. Wow.
The first team all-conference third baseman, Gavin Turner, the first person to find the grass on the other side of the outfield fence today.
That might just be the insurance we've been talking about.
I think so. Especially now, because if you're Spadeva, you can give up 1 run. You don't feel like you have to be perfect now.
Exactly. I'm sure he feels a lot more comfortable up on the hill.
There's Roller 1 for 3 with a couple of runs batted in. Pavone fires the fastball down and away, 1-0. I'll tell you what, obviously there's a lot riding on this game, Jay Sean, but with Greensboro being the host team, it kind of feels nice to just call a neutral game. You know, don't have any skin in this one necessarily, so just kind of fun to watch this one.
This might be the first time I've ever called a neutral game, so this is fun.
Here comes the 2-0. That's hit foul. Two balls and a strike to Roller. Pavone ready just above the belt. Here's the 2-1. Fastball fouled straight back, 2-2. Peace is stranded 11 today. North Carolina Wesleyan, Peace is stranded 10. Wesleyan is stranded 11. Wind blowing in now. It's kind of what we were joking about earlier. You got to time your home runs in between the gusts of wind. Pitch fouled off. Count remains 2-2. Things just getting underway down in Meisenheimer. There's a line drive into center field. On his horse is Gamache, and can't come up with it. A base hit for Nathan Roller. Runner aboard. Still nobody out for the Pacers here in the top of the ninth. There's Hayden Heath, who has appeared in a couple games as a pitcher this year, but as a hitter has hit .256 with a home run, 11 batted in. Left-hand hitter, third baseman Brown playing even with the grass at third. Wouldn't be surprised to see Heath square here. He does. Here's the bunt down the third base, or down the first base line, rather. Just foul by just a little bit. Did you see the Padres game the other night with Mason Miller?
I think I might have scrolled past it on Instagram.
Yeah, it was the first earned run that Miller has allowed this year because there was a bunt down the third base side, and it was like the shadow of the ball was on the chalk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mason Miller, man, that's one of the best in the business.
Pickoff attempt to first. It was close. Back in safely is Roller. You know, I could go for some low hanging fruit about the Mets and their closer, but I'm not going to do that to you.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it after this one.
Yeah. Here's the 0-1 again. Heath squaring, pulls back, but it's called a strike. Count 0-2.
So Devin Williams has already been slotted out of the closer spot.
Has he really?
Yeah, we threw Luke Weaver in there, and Luke Weaver just gave up a 2-run home run to C.J. Abrams.
Well, I was going to say, as a Yankees fan, I prefer Luke Weaver anyways.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't prefer either of them. I want Jairus Familia back.
Well, with 2 strikes here, wonder if that takes the bunt off for Hayden Heath. Shavonda Brown still playing a step away from the infield grass. There's the 0-2. Heath swings and just got a piece of it. I mean, I think he might have got a thread. That's how much he stayed alive there. Following Heath will be the shortstop Sanchez, who has had a tough day today, 0 for 3 and made a couple errors defensively, but a couple plays as well. That pitch popped foul, now to play. Count remains 0-2. Good battle here for Hayden Heath.
For sure. Love to see the difference in hitters when they change their 2-strike approach.
Yeah.
Nothing more fascinating than a true 2-strike hit. Just shorten up your swing, send it the other way. It's one of my favorite hits in baseball.
Here's the 0-2, or another 0-2, we should say. High chopper to first. Throw goes to second for 1. Nance the relay, not in time. So lead runner Roller is out at second. That's out number 1, and Heath is at first. So basically add an out and replace the runner at first base. Which in other words, you replace the catcher with an outfielder, so you get a little speed boost there.
Helps you out a little bit. Good old productive fielder's choice.
Brings up Eddie Sanchez. Third baseman Brown still plays in. First pitch, a strike. Pavone set from the first base side. Snap throw back to first on the pickoff attempt, and safely in is Heath. Anytime, I mean it, anytime. Honestly, hey, next year, there's some softball games. Yeah. I don't care. Yeah, please do. I think you'd be. Hey, I have to go for content over your feelings, and she's good for the stream. Here comes the 0-1. That is a strike, and the count 0-2.
Another reason why this game is so important. And I mean, if you lose this one, you got to play another one.
Yeah.
Right after this.
Absolutely.
I mean, not just another game, you got to play the number 1 seed. So definitely, if you're Wesleyan, you're going to want to grind this one out.
This one high in the air into right, rather. Bowen is there, makes the catch, and that is out number 2. You know, something that Jaden and I were talking about earlier today, too. You look at the differences in choices in starting pitching. If you're Wesleyan, you threw your ace, and your next lowest starter ERA is 4 points higher. If you're William Peace, you threw a guy with an 11.50. You've got plenty of options that you can go with today. And Hummel threw a great game. You would have never guessed the ERA by the way that he pitched today.
Exactly. I thought Hummel was great. I mean, only 1 earned run.
Hang on a second. This one down the right field line. Bowen makes the catch. And that is the final out of the inning. Jay Sean, I want to get back to that point when we come back in the bottom of the 9th inning. Crunch time for the Wesleyan, for North Carolina Wesleyan. They've got a 2-run deficit to deal with after Turner's home run gives the Pacers a 5-3 lead. Bottom of the ninth inning, do or die time here for North Carolina Wesleyan in game number 1. They've got to deal again with Spadeba. Defensive changes for the Pacers. Left to right in the outfield, Heath will move from right to left rather, and Justin Earl in right field rather, coming in Moss's spot in the lineup, but playing in right field. And it will be Hartman, the 4-hitter, Brown, the 5-hitter, and Bowen, the 6-hitter, against Spadeba, who deals curveball strike 1. Jay-Sean, we were talking before the break about the pitching and kind of where it sets everybody up for going forward.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, Hummel, not one of your best guys in terms of ERA on your team, but I mean, he turned in a good 3 innings.
Yeah.
Followed by Brown, who also turned in a good 3 innings, both only 1 earned run between the two of them. So you still have a lot of your arms on deck for tomorrow.
Count 0-2 here. Jay-Sean, I'm trying to go back and look, but I want to say the other interesting thing here would be people facing Spadeba for the second time. I don't know that Hartman has, but I want to say either Brown or Bowen was the first hitter that he faced.
Right. Either way, this is not a bad spot in your order.
No, it's not.
When this in this situation.
So it was Shimada Brown on deck. So this is the 9th hitter Spadeba has faced. Here's an 0-2. Just outside 1-2. Yeah, Seth Spadeba, 33 pitches. He's given up 2 hits and a walk, but nothing in terms of runs. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball. A little pop into left. It's going to drop in front of Heath, and that's a leadoff single. Brings the tying run up to the plate in the form of Shimada Brown, who's 1 for 3. This is that streak of a couple of second-team all-conference selections in the form of Brown and Bowen.
In order for it to be a rally, it's got to start with 1.
Yep.
And that 1 standing on first. Tying run at the plate.
Very curious to see what kind of changes in approach for Wesleyan now that they've seen Spadeba. Count 0-1 to Shimada Brown. Breaking ball. Brown hits that one foul out in front of it. The count 0-2.
If I'm up there and I'm a lefty, I'm definitely sitting on that curveball. I want it to drop right into my wheelhouse, right where I want it. And I'm going to sit and I'm going to drive.
Spadeba ready. Here comes an 0-2. That one defensively fought off. Count remains 0-2. I think then that's where, you got to think between the slow curve and the harder curve, and then also he could sneak that fastball in the outside corner too. You got to protect the inside part of the plate. This one popped up in the infield. Now backing into shallow left as Sanchez makes the catch, and that is out number 1. So this is Bowen. Marlon Bowen 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. Tying run remains at the plate. And Flowers in the on-deck circle. First pitch misses, ball 1. 5 runs on 11 hits, 3 errors for the Pacers. 3-10-0 for North Carolina Wesleyan. Pickoff there by Spadeba, almost off target. Three hours, 45 minutes, or 2 hours and 45 minutes rather. in game 1 today. There's a strike, the count 1-1.
Got to say, I haven't noticed the difference between the pitch clock and not having the pitch clock. They do keep the speed of the game going. It's not as long as I thought it would be.
Here comes the 1-1. That one popped up. Should hit right over us. Lands in the grass. The count 1-2.
Couple GC players back there. I think they're playing hacky sack.
Did anybody catch the ball?
Not sure. I don't think so.
It's like banana ball, right? When you catch, you catch a
see
foul
that?
ball, you're out.
That's so cool.
Here comes the 1-2. Curve ball. Just off the outside corner, 2-2.
Great miss right
I tell
there.
you, and you know what? Maybe this is a controversial opinion. If you go to a Bananas game, this is my opinion. If you go to a game expecting to see a baseball game, you'll be disappointed. If you go expecting to see a baseball show, you'll have a great time.
Exactly, and that's the reason why I don't think I will ever attend a Bananas game.
Agreed.
I don't think I could ever do that to myself, but I love the product. It's good for the game, so I mean, you know, it gets the young fans more into it. I don't mind it.
Here comes the 2-2, a curveball. That's lined into center field. Long run in for French, makes the catch, and that's out number 2. So here comes Flowers. Last chance here for the Battling Bishops in game 1. Yeah, you look at it here and you think Chapel pitched a little bit in this game. Could be a little warm-up session if they wanted to throw him tonight. Nathaniel Volk, a 6.13 ERA in 10 starts. We saw him earlier this year. He pitched against the Pride in Ashboro as Flowers takes a strike. You also have Drake Hobgood, who made 20 appearances but 5 starts and a 4.71 ERA. So I feel like probably between those 3 guys will be the starting pitcher for the Battling Bishops tonight. Breaking ball to Flowers, strike inside corner, and William Peace 1 strike away from starting the tournament with an upset. Gotta love tournament baseball.
Got to. Nothing better than this right here.
Here's the 0-2 from Spadeba. Fastball. Ooh. I tell you what, I don't know where that one missed. That's a good-looking pitch.
I definitely thought the home plate umpire has given that one to a couple different pitchers today, but game on the line, maybe he wants to extend it a little bit.
I love it, though. You've gone soft inside 2 pitches. You want to freeze him on the outside corner with a fastball.
That's just textbook right there.
Here comes the 1-2. Back to the off-speed. Popped up in the infield. Catcher roller calling for it, and William Peace upsets North Carolina Wesleyan in game 1, 5-3. The first winner of the tournament. Well, it was a pitcher's duel today. We'll take a look at the scoring summary here. Started in the first inning. 2 runs come in for the Pacers in the top of the inning. A fielder's choice from Nathan Roller. A run comes in, and then a double steal. Gavin Turner comes across the plate to make it 2-0. Bottom of the inning, Mason Nance, an RBI single. 2-1 your score. In the third inning, Roller again. It's a base hit to left. 3-1. Pacers lead. In the fourth, Brady Williams, an RBI single for Wesleyan to cut it to 3-2. They would tie it up on a double by Drew Krause in the fifth. Then in the seventh, a fielder's choice from Leland Barrow, a run scores, and then the solo home run from Gavin Turner in the top of the ninth inning ends the scoring 5-3, your final score. Winning pitcher in game 1, Maddox Brown. The loser is Colby Lewis. It's Chapel, rather, the losing pitcher. And a save to Spadeba. Jay-Sean, your thoughts here in game number 1?
I mean, I thought William Peace played a great game. Great pitching from, as you said, from Hummel. I mean, 3 innings, only giving up 2 hits, surrendering 1 run.
Yeah.
I mean, does it get better than that? Followed up by Brown, another 3 innings, no earned runs. Spadeba, oh my goodness. I mean, that was one of the best 3 innings I've seen. What a day. They all split 3-3-3. And they get the job done.
Absolutely. So with the win, Brown goes to 1-2 this year. With the loss, Chapel falls to 1-4. Spadeba picks up his 3rd save of the year. So North Carolina Wesleyan will take on Greensboro College at 5 o'clock today. William Peace will be in the first game tomorrow. 1 o'clock, first pitch tomorrow. Yeah, 1 o'clock, the first pitch tomorrow. We'll see William Peace in that game, and then Greensboro College getting things started here in about an hour and 15 minutes or so. It'll be on a separate YouTube stream, so if you're sticking around for that one, close out, and we'll reopen the second one when we're ready to get that one going. But we're going to take a break, get everything reset for game number 2. A big thank you to our Director of Sports Information, Stephen Whitenhouse, my producer and analyst, Jay Sean Ayala. Jaden DeWitt, Greensboro College athletic trainer, was also on the beginning of the day today. I'm Kendrick Fruits. We'll get set for game 2. It's North Carolina Wesleyan and Greensboro coming up at 5 o'clock. Your final score of game 1, William Peace upsets the Battle and Bishops 5-3 on the Greensboro College Sports Network.